Got popped.
Boom.
Ooh.
Alex Woodside, I'm going to pass over the controls to you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this here live stream of RuPaul's Drag Race. Sissy That Talk.
Sissy it.
Our podcast, our RuPaul's Drag Race opinion podcast. It's the end of the season. We're not starting the podcast yet. This is now pre-podcast. This is just for the users on YouTube who are watching. So if you guys are out there on YouTube, whoop. Way to go.
Yes.
And if you guys are watching, which I'm going to say 90% of the people who watch this are going to end up having not watched it live. They're going to end up having watched it as a video on demand.
Well, thank you, future people.
Yeah, so thank you, future people. Thank you, anyone who's live. If you were here live, and I don't know who is here live, but if you're here live, chat. Come in the chat, say hello, put yourself in the chat, and we'll go from there. To anybody who goes back in time using the YouTube time shifting features.
That's right.
To figure out, to catch up on what we were saying. This is going to be a long haul.
A little bit, maybe. We only have 12 episodes of material to cover.
We got 12 episodes of material to cover. It's going to be a thing. I think it's going to be a thing that we're going to be, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. I don't just mean together, me and you. Because I could touch you. I could touch you, and you're here.
Here
and
together.
I could feel you. I could feel you here with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Can't see our hands. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do a podcast called Sissy That Talk. It's the end of the season. We just covered season 9.
Well, almost the end of the season. We obviously still don't know who the winner of season 9 is.
We'll know who that winner is next week.
Yep.
That's something that we will know next week. But this week, what we're going to do is we're going to break down everything about season 9.
Everything that happened.
Everything everyone
wore that was worth talking about.
Yes.
A few things that really weren't worth talking about were not worth talking about that we have to talk about them.
Absolutely. The goings-on, the comings.
Yes.
The returns.
Yes.
The lip syncs.
Yes.
The drama.
The shade.
Yes. So we're going to start promptly at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So we got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Should I put the chip tunes back on?
No, I have no idea what the music just ended up sounding like.
It was
And I don't know if any of you guys will know what the music ever sounds like because it's probably going to cut out of the show.
Well then.
They're going to cut out of the live stream. Alex Woodside, in this last couple minutes we have, do you want to go upstairs and see if the air conditioner is on?
Yeah, I already turned that off.
Turn it off?
Yeah.
No, put it back on.
Why?
Because it's going to get really hot, and that'll blow on top of us, and we won't be sweating this entire time. It's not going to affect our audio.
No, that makes no sense to me. Opposite of what?
Fine.
We'll be fine without it on. I'm going to get that.
Not wearing a wig.
Holy shit.
Okay, fine. We won't do it. And if I melt on stream, well, at least it's documented.
You better melt.
You better melt.
It's going to...
Yes.
Valhalla's first hit single, You Better Melt.
It better melt. Yes, in my first t-shirt, adjective, animal. Yes. Yes, that's going to come up a couple times in the show. Adjective, animal. That's my new thing.
Incredible, bodacious, fantastic,
platypus.
Oh, that was better than mine.
I know, I'm exotic. I'm an exotic bitch. Exotic bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what? There's nothing stopping us from going now. Let's just go now.
Oh, we got like a minute and a half.
Well, what do you want to go now? We can go now. You want to wait a minute and a half?
Wait a minute and a half.
Are we rolling?
Of course we're rolling.
Rolling on all this?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe on the audio version, this will become a little.
A pre-roll?
No, post-roll. It'll be post-credits.
Oh. Put this.
A Marvel show, like a Marvel movie.
Get shawarmas then.
I would love a shawarma. We had pizzas. We had panzerottis.
Very rarely ever feel like a shawarma these days.
You know what I always feel like?
What?
A Euro sandwich.
A Euro. Euros are nice.
Do you know where from in particular? Alexandros.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
They're the best.
And Zidane
No. At the harbor front.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Yes, where the ferry terminal is to get to Toronto Island.
For all you people who live in Toronto.
I will say this.
None of you.
I will say this right now. Alexandros. on the waterfront, I believe, has the best gyro and pita in town.
In the whole damn world?
Maybe not the whole world. I haven't traveled the world and had
all right, enough of this nonsense talk. It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay. Well, here we go, everybody. Kick back, enjoy the ride, because here it comes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Sissy That Talk with Velvet Valhalla. I'm Velvet Valhalla, joined as always with co-host Alex Woodside.
That's me.
Alex Woodside.
Yes.
Presently, we are on the magic of the internet. We're on YouTube, making a live stream of this very podcast. So if you want to watch this podcast and listen to it at the exact same time, you can go to Velvet Valhalla on YouTube. Just search Velvet Valhalla. You'll find my page. You'll find the VOD for this very podcast, this long podcast that we're doing right now, plus other VODs that we have of our other two podcasts that we streamed, which was the preseason Super Show.
Yes.
The first episode, First Impressions.
Yes.
And now this is the end of season. This is the end of season show.
It is.
Where we're going to cover all the big things of this entire season, the best looks, and finally we're going to close with who do we feel should win the show
overall. Who's our pick to win?
Who's your pick to win? Now, I'm going to point out that we do not, I repeat, we do not need to have consensus on who's going to win. And
we don't have consensus on any of the material in this episode.
No, but we're going to try. We're going to try our best.
You'll try your best.
This is the most work we've ever put into a single podcast. Would you agree?
No.
Really? You don't think so?
No, the first time we did a Super Show was the most work we ever put into a show.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I made a video instead of just recording.
Oh, that's right.
I made
one. On the YouTube page. You can go back and you can watch that. It's still there.
Yeah.
The YouTube show for our very first Super Show,
yeah,
which had a whole bunch of picture clips,
yeah,
throughout it. Now we're gonna have picture clips throughout this one as well.
We sure will.
Except it's gonna be much easier because we're doing everything fucking live.
We sure are.
Yes. So yeah. So every now and then, if we stop and you hear us typing, that's because we're looking stuff up as this whole thing goes. Now, the reason why I thought, you want to show the world?
Yeah.
Go show.
A full screen effect?
No, just stick with that. What are you doing?
I like full screen effects.
It's close enough.
Is it?
Boom. Look at that.
Oh, the wondrous RuPaul.
Oh, my God. The best blended queen.
Yes. The best blended
most
queen.
Blended.
But
most blended.
Not the most blended.
Most blended.
Not the most blended on the jury panel.
Okay, most blended on the jury panel. That's one Ross Matthews.
We're going to
transition right back.
So well blended.
Boom. There's a little preview of what we got going on. So we're going to talk about all that stuff on today's episode of Sissy That Talk. So before we get into it, blanket spoiler warning for everybody. If you have not watched every goddamn episode of Sissy That Talk and RuPaul's Drag Race, the show that Sissy That Talk is about, you should stop, listen to all the seasons. All the
every
shows,
single one of them,
all of them,
from the very beginning,
from episode 1.
You're gonna have a real fuck of a hard time finding season 1, episode 1, but you got to do it or stop right now.
We found it though.
We don't care about your views if you don't know everything.
Yes,
that's a total lie. We don't give a fuck. Just listen to us.
We care about you.
We do care about you,
and we care about you being spoiled or not. So, chill the fuck out. We don't want to hear about you and your problems. Yes.
Where are you even going with that?
I don't know. Why are we looking for Ross Matthews?
Why aren't we looking for Ross Matthews? That's the real question.
No, click the one with the hands, the jazz hands.
No way, because he looks way more blended here. Such a tiny picture.
Yes, so transition, let it be tiny.
So small, so well blended.
Okay, now this is okay, that's enough.
All right.
That's enough shenanigans. Let's get on to the real talk. And once again, if you guys are in the chat it up with us. Chat it up. And we'll get back to you like Chris Cadis, who's never going to stop in chat right now. So that's a big shout out to Chris Cadis.
Yeah.
But let's,
I like that. KK in his name. Very nice.
Very nice.
What's your middle name, Chris? Don't tell us.
Okay. So, first things first. Now that all this rambling's out of the way. We watched the reunion special. We don't normally watch that. I think this is where we need to start.
No, well, because usually it comes after the finale.
Yes.
Which makes it basically the most useless episode that there is.
Correct, because nobody cares anymore. After the crowning, nobody cares about what happens afterwards. But this time, This time, I want to say Alex Woodside last week on our last episode, if you listened,
Yeah.
we broke down what we think that the next 2 episodes were going to be like.
Yes.
And we said what our impressions were and what our hopes and our dreams were.
Yes.
One of our big hopes and dreams was this reunion special would be in front of no audience.
No audience.
Or like an empty theater.
We were hoping for the theater
We were hoping, yes.
the finale would be in.
And that's exactly what we got.
We sure did.
We got the empty theater, and I think that it was the best decision maybe of the season.
It was hands down the best reunion show they have ever done.
Ever have.
Yes.
But you see, I think that the most important thing to remember about this is that because the reunion special didn't have an audience in front of it, it meant that the tea can really flow. Because there's no pressure. There's no pressure there from the audience, like cheering people, or they don't have to hold for applause or anything like that. They can just go at each other.
Yeah.
And this was the juiciest. This is everything that I have been missing for the latter half of RuPaul's Drag Race.
There was such a dynamic in the room, such a different dynamic than we had throughout the show. And I mean, part of that is due to the fact that the top 4 knew they were the top 4, and they knew all the other girls were not the top 4.
Oh, well, yeah, you can tell. You can tell that the top 4, the top 4 weren't even having it.
No.
And they weren't even seeming to have it with each other.
Yeah.
They had competition face on.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that because it was the first time I legitimately saw competition face on it. You know,
from all 4 of them.
From all 4. What else I liked about this reunion special is that they did not pander to quieter queens who got eliminated early.
No.
If you didn't speak up, you were not being heard.
Somehow Kimura got a front seat. I didn't understand that.
Well, because I don't know. I don't know.
She spoke a little bit. She looked mostly like she wasn't having any of it the whole time, which makes sense.
She got a line in.
She got a few lines in.
She got a line in.
She got way more time than, let's say, James Mansfield got.
James Mansfield got one sick burn.
Yes. It was a lukewarm burn.
I don't know. It was a pretty good burn, though. It was that James Mansfield got the burn onto one Valentina.
But remembering the lyrics.
Dig about about remembering the lyrics.
The first mention of it,
which was good.
Before we spent about half the episode dealing with Valentina.
Yes, oh yes. But we'll get into that. That's like its whole own thing.
She is her whole own thing.
We can. I feel like we can almost break down like this episode, like segment by segment, and have something to talk about. I know we're not prepared to do that.
No, but we have a lot to cover, and that
we have a lot to cover.
Put us over the edge.
It would put us over the edge.
Put us in Peter Jackson territory.
Yeah, it's true. This is like the extended edition. I'll have to you'll have to go to YouTube to hear it all, and then I'm going to try to cut it down to 20 minutes.
I got this really long movie, and what I got for you extra is a longer version of the extra long movie.
Yes. I got this idea for 2 movies, but we're going to turn it into 3.
And then on DVD, I'll make it 3 movies plus an extra 20 minutes of footage per movie.
Per movie, yes. Anyway, Peter Jackson. That's a little bit of Peter Jackson.
He doesn't sound anything like that because he's from New Zealand.
No, but we definitely turned him into a Hollywood mogul. I think that's what we did there. Anyway, it was everything I wanted.
You know what it was?
It
was for the first time in this whole season, there was pure drama. And that drama was backed by crazy sound effects.
Yes.
Which we have missed sorely.
We've missed that so
this season, I feel like there was
much.
a lot less of it last season too, but there was a lot of boofs and little
thunks,
chords.
It was the best.
Yeah,
it totally brought me back to what made me love Drag Race so much, and I'm so happy that they brought it back because so the reason why I was saying that this is the most prepared we've ever had for one of these shows is we spent 2 days preparing for this. We spent one whole day just gathering material and watching things.
Yes.
And then we spent a part of today gathering the rest of our material and getting ready for a live stream so that we can mentally be prepared to talk about everything and be coherent.
Yes.
Because in previous seasons, it's been 12-hour affairs where you've done 9 to 10 hours of
research
pre-work and then 2 or 3 hours of podcast on the back of that.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
It is very difficult.
It's very, very difficult. But enough about that. It was so good. And I keep just spinning my wheels about that. I'm not talking about what makes it so good. So let's talk about what made it so good. What are the big moments of this reunion special?
Basically, right off the bat, Rue calls out Alexis for not being able to take a read about her weight in the library episode.
Yes.
Which I was like, I wasn't really prepared, I think, for what this episode was going to be.
No, we were not.
Yeah, because it was all like, holy shit, Rue just called her out on that shit.
Oh.
And then everyone just went to town.
Rue set the stage and pretty much gave the permission for everybody to start doing what they did.
Yes, which was take no shit. If someone is throwing out some mad bullshit, you call them on it.
Yes.
Because this is the time, this is the place, is what Rue was basically saying. If you're going to call someone on their bullshit, you're going to call them on it right now on this stage.
Pure conjecture, but this is something I think might have been what happened on this whole situation. I feel like when they went into the show and they were in the show, they all felt really comfortable with each other.
Yep.
They thought that everybody was being 100. Mm-hmm. That's what they thought, all that stuff. And then when they got out of the show and they started watching it back, they started seeing that people were not being 100. And people were saying things behind people's backs that they weren't saying inside the workroom.
Yes, because the workroom was basically fucking crickets and therapy sessions.
Exactly, crickets and therapy sessions. So all that drama and tea and stuff like that probably started getting dug up as the whole show came on, and you can feel that tension in the palpable tension.
You know, I think it was really interesting about the reunion, in the room was that it kind of exposed the kind of like post-drag race pre-finale life of these queens. You know, because they're all on tour and stuff now, and they're all working either together or in different places. But there's a lot of conversation back and forth between certain queens. I think between most of them, they're all kind of like interacting to a certain degree on social media and through text. And there's like this whole dynamic that kind of is alluded to in like kind of previous seasons, and when people come back for like All Stars and stuff, there's a lot of talk about how kind of the queens interact with each other, and you know, we became such tight friends. And this is the first time I really got a picture of kind of like how that grows in this in-between period. The most fascinating example, of course, being the relationship between Farrah and Valentina.
Well, it's seemingly the relationship between Valentina
and everyone
and everybody.
Yes,
because like Valentina is a fan favorite.
Yes,
and definitely earned the fan favorite award, which was Miss Congeniality. We'll talk more about Miss Congeniality a little bit later.
I think we should just get right into it.
Okay, let's get it.
Let's get right into Valentina.
Okay,
let's deal with the fucking white fucking elephant in this room.
Okay, so Valentina,
pink elephant, whatever it's supposed to be.
I don't give a shit. The beige elephant. She doesn't wear. She wears reds and beiges.
Yes, lots of reds.
Yes. Okay, Valentina. I wish that Valentina didn't fuck up that lip sync so bad, because I feel like she's potentially the villain that the season needed, but at the same time, where she was positioned in the show, but when she was eliminated, she was taking more of a back seat. So I don't know if she really would have ascended to the, you know, Queen of Maleficence that she could have been.
No.
But
that's ridiculous, because the villain of the season that we lost is so obviously Eureka.
I don't know.
So obvious. It's like immediate. We're going to be jumping around a little bit here, sorry. But it's like immediate in the reunion episode, like the relationship between Eureka and Trinity gets like right off in the reading section off the top. They just start hounding on each other. Like they have not gotten over whatever it was that they had, and they never got to deal with it on the show.
You see, you were wrong about that, because there's a difference between the villain of the season and the rivalry of the season.
No, I know, but the rivalry often produces the villain. And Eureka was primed to be the villain because of her outspoken nature versus everyone else's soft-spoken nature on this season.
But Valentina was primed to be the villain because she was a judge darling. She was very green. She was a green judge darling that everybody resented.
Look, this is what I'm going to say, though.
There was a deep-seated resentment between everybody, and Eureka was just a bitch. Just a run-of-the-mill bitch that everyone could ignore.
But that's what makes a villain a villain. What I'm saying is Valentina is the villain of the season now. She has become the villain of the season through retrospect.
And fan base.
It
turns out.
And what kind of her general personality kind of really came through in a way that it didn't came through on the reunion show in a way that it didn't really fully come through on the main show. You could see kind of peaks of it and stuff, that she was putting on a very thick face, a thick personality. She had a very thick wall. But in the reunion show, that kind of takes on a very different feeling. It takes on a much more... I don't even know what the right word for it is. She just seems kind of evil.
Yes.
Well, she never seemed evil on the show.
Well, no, okay. You know what, though? It's more she felt cold. That's what it was. I wouldn't say evil. She felt very cold, and that's because she's the only queen who really went out there, save for maybe Trinity. who just went out there and said, I'm in this to win this. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to fucking win. And that's what she said.
She rewards success.
Exactly, right? She is such a results, reward, and victory-centric queen.
Yes.
That it's difficult for people in the same competition to be warm toward that. But you can just see it in her crazy eyes.
But that's what I'm saying.
That she just wants to be that winner.
But it's not just simply that, because then you have the dynamic that Farrah put forward, being all like, look, on the show, like, we were tight. We went through everything together. We talked about everything. Like, we were there for each other, and I was there for you. And then the show ended, and you never, ever talked to me again. And I tried to talk to you, and you just ignored me. And then Valentina was like, oh, you should have, done this. You obviously didn't try hard enough. She's like, bitch, yes, I did. You just didn't give a shit. Because she didn't care about her anymore.
Because she was just looking to win on the show. She wasn't there to make friends. Now, the weird thing is, though, that she did message other queens on the panel.
Yeah.
But
she had Skyped in people, and she had messaged Trinity.
That's what she's saying.
Well, that's what Trinity said. That's what Alexis said. That she was having conversations with other queens, but she just totally, didn't give a shit about what Farrah was feeling or saying or anything
but Farrah
anymore.
Also wasn't a top queen.
Well,
in
exactly.
The show, which is, she's attracted to winners, it seems.
Well, yeah,
because she wants to be a winner, and she
rewards success with her time and energy.
Yes, but the interesting thing that she said, that she said on the round, is that she wasn't there to prove that she is a star. She was there to show the world the star that she already is.
Yes.
And that is such a fucking strong statement. A strong statement and almost a thesis for what she tried doing in this show. And the fact that she was also upset and torn up about losing, but she was happy that the episode that she got eliminated on was incredibly talked about.
Yes.
And she got her telenovela ending.
Yes.
Which is exquisite.
It is exquisite.
And the fact that she won, it can't be ignored. The fact that she won Miss Congeniality.
No.
Now, I do agree with all the queens in the panel, though.
That she was not the most congenial?
Yes. And I don't think that most people who voted on that understand what the word congenial is.
Oh, definitely not. It's just, if it's a fan vote, then it's just a fan favorite.
It's a fan favorite, yes. So I think the queens were right in trying to rename the
I wonder
award.
if they'll be successful in doing so next season. I'm very interested to see that.
I mean that would be surprising. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
No, because it actually makes the most sense.
Yes, because Miss Congeniality should be voted by the queens in the show.
Yes,
should be voting who is Miss Congeniality.
Well, that's how that award works.
That's the Miss Congeniality award in every pageant ever.
Yes,
and they were just going for the title because that's just sort of what they like doing on the show. So Alex, so there's all that Valentina stuff going on. That's crazy, but. Who do you think? Who is Miss Congeniality? Who is your Miss Congeniality?
I'm going with Farrah.
You see, is that for bias? Why are you doing that?
Because
what
I
makes
think she was honestly the nicest queen.
Well, what did she do congenially for everybody around her?
She said nice things to people.
She cried in the workroom constantly and bitched in the workroom, and I don't think she really helped anybody.
Well, maybe she helped Valentina.
Maybe, but that never came off in the show. I don't know. You see, we weren't there, so it's really hard. Do you
Why?
seriously
who are you
think
going to put forward? I don't know. I'm just the first thought that came to my head.
It's just because you got Farrah on your mind.
All the time.
My God.
You tell me. Who do you think? I don't think it's an easy pick this year.
It's not really
an easy Nina. Obviously, the top 4 are out. It's not Alexis.
Yeah, I guess you can't do the top 4. I mean, Mike, okay, you see, this may be my bias creeping out here, but I would say Trinity. Trinity did help a lot of people. But I don't think...
You can't pick one of the top 4.
Yeah, I don't think we could pick one of the top 4.
No, you just can't. It doesn't work that way.
It's definitely not Alexis.
No.
Because she's more like the least congenial.
Yes.
She just bragged on everybody for not being congenial enough.
It's not Eureka. It's not Charlie. It's not
Kimora. Is it Cynthia again? Does Cynthia win?
Just because that's her personality,
maybe. Because that's what she did in her time on the show.
James.
Shut up. I've had enough of your naysaying and bullshit. I've had enough.
You won't have any of the James Mansfield.
I guess. I mean, who is it then?
I think if she wasn't in the top 4, it probably would be Sasha.
You think Sasha?
Group therapy herself, yes. I think she set a tone for this season.
You're right. She did
set
a tone
the workroom is concerned.
Yes. As much as I don't like her, I can say that she did try her best to help and be the shoulder to cry on for many people.
Yeah.
I would. Okay, so yeah, I could say that Sasha.
So if episode 12 wasn't such a bullshit pile of treachery, and we had a top 3, and Sasha,
wow, you're putting a lot of hypotheticals eliminated, here,
as you would have liked to have seen. Then in that world, Sasha would be Miss Congeniality, but barring that, it is in fact Pheromone.
I honestly can't make a terrible argument for Pheromone. I can't make a counterpoint. Like, I can't put forth someone else. No, she wasn't, but she was definitely a crybaby. I just don't know how she did to help anybody.
It's because she is a baby. That's what makes her so endearing.
Very good. Okay, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Anyway, so do we have anything else? So everybody railed on Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie really got it bad.
I had a whole segment.
My favorite part of it was like when Trinity was talking to Valentina about Valentina not performing the lip sync. She was like, at least Valentina owned it, which she didn't in the episode at all.
No.
And Charlie's just sitting there like, what the fuck? Though Charlie didn't own it either. She just like laid on excuse after excuse after excuse, which is weird at this point in time. Like you've had, I mean, not a ton of time to kind of deal with it because the world has just seen it like a few weeks ago.
No. But you see, what you don't understand though, you're not taking into consideration is the fan backlash that she would have got.
Yes,
being a queen who basically gave up during a lip sync.
Well, and a queen who lives online.
Yes, that too. Yeah. So like every comment thread from now on is going to be about how she gave up.
Yeah.
So she needs to defend herself on the biggest stage possible, which is the reunion stage.
Yeah.
And I got to point this out. We watched every single runway and every lip sync of the season again.
Yes.
And I'm going to say that lip sync between Trinity and Charlie could have been a goddamn classic.
Could have been.
Because Trinity came to slay.
Yeah, she did.
That lip sync.
Yeah. But then she was just kind of... She was
lip sync.
The energy was so off of it that it just made it weird. Because she was like, I'm going to give it my all, but then not having someone to play off of just made her all look weird.
It made her look like she was trying too hard almost. Like,
yeah, that's exactly right. She looked like she was like, why are you going so hard right now? But it's like, oh, no, you're going so hard because she's not going at all. It just threw the whole thing off.
I agree. But that's what I'm saying. If Charlie would have came, then we could have had the makings for a classic lip sync.
Yeah.
That we'd be talking about for the ages. Other thing, they brought up the Linda Evangelista moment, the explosion moment. Aja's big meme of the season was brought up. And the power dynamic I noticed on there was that the music started playing, the sample music that came up. Valentina came up on stage.
Immediately.
Okay. Yes, took center stage. But then Aja could not take the fact that Valentina was taking that because in Aja's mind, that's Aja's song, even though it's about Valentina.
Yeah.
So Aja got right up to make sure that bitch wasn't the only one taking credit for this. She put her fucking
weird prop eye thing like right across her face.
Yes.
Oh, it was so good.
It was, yes. So like the power dynamics that were happening between those two in that moment were ridiculous.
It was fantastic. I mean, and just Aja calling out Valentina for getting Miss Congeniality, basically like right off the top, while Valentina's giving her like bullshit like, oh, if it wasn't for my mommy, I wouldn't be congenial at all.
Oh my god.
And she's all like, what, girl?
Yes. Aja came to fight.
Yeah, she did.
It seems like Aja came to fight.
Yeah.
And Aja throughout the entire season, like Aja in the early parts of the season
was fiery.
Was fiery and always ready to go at it.
Yeah.
And then I think she got slammed down really hard with those poor critiques.
Yes.
And then she sort of, she tempered herself.
Well, and then but the whole workroom was fairly tempered at that point anyway.
Yes.
So.
But she was ready to do some blasting here.
She was.
And then the craziness about this is all about Valentina. Valentina's fans coming after everybody with threats.
Yeah, well, apparently
like
crazy internet trolls essentially.
Yes.
Telling people they should kill themselves and stuff like that. Like,
oh
what
my
the
god.
Fuck?
Yes.
I can't. I mean, I find it hard to believe that fucking people. I mean, people are people, I guess. But I mean, like people who like watch like RuPaul's Drag Race or listen to RuPaul at all. Would be the kind of person who would go tell a fucking queen to go kill herself.
No. What you don't understand,
fucked up.
You don't understand the internet. Then you haven't. I live part of my life on the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this: the internet attracts the scum of the earth.
Yeah, no, I understand
who just shout at you and wish cancer on everybody and your family, especially if those people are English as a second language and they're coming into an English-speaking anything. Because the only word, like, they don't have a strong enough vocabulary.
But that's what's weird, though, because that is what Valentina, like, that's who she is.
Yes.
And so that must be a huge portion of her fan base as well.
Exactly. It's a Latina fan base that might not have, I mean, I don't want to sound racist about this at all, as much as I can, but normally, if you don't have as much of a grasp on English language, you just go to some of the most commonly said words, which are normally, like, fucking hateful words.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like cancer and all that kind of, like, calling somebody cancer and telling them to go die. Because, like, they're very simple words. Yeah. And, like, there's a universal understanding
thrown around so much on the internet, especially on common forums and that sort of shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And I also say this as somebody who plays a lot of Friday the 13th, the game. Yeah. And when you play late at night, you end up playing with a lot of Russian people. And that's all they do. If you fuck up at all, it's just, I wish you had cancer. You should all get cancer. You're cancer. Cancer, cancer, cancer. They love to say cancer.
Weird.
Yes. Yeah. That's just internet stuff.
Weird. Internet's weird.
I feel like
you're weird, internet.
The internet's weird, but I love it. I love it. I love my trolls. I love
talking
everything.
Too much about Valentina? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. I'm wondering, is there any other big points about this? I almost wish this episode 13 was last week's episode.
Oh yeah, 100% wish that.
There's so much gold in here, but we have so much more to talk about. Is there any other big moments from this special? Like,
let's see. So we went over Valentina.
Yeah.
We went over Alexis.
Yep.
We
haven't talked about their outfits.
No, we can talk about their outfits if you want.
Who do you think was the best dressed?
Who do I think was the best dressed? Other than Sasha, you mean?
What do you mean other than Sasha?
Sasha was obviously the best dressed.
Sasha was not the best dressed.
That wonderful pillowcase she was wearing, you don't think that was the greatest thing?
Oh my god, I fucking couldn't stand that.
It was basically an oversized onesie. It was great.
Oh my god, it was made of felt. Oh. I don't know what it was. It was ill-fitting, and it had like a spat over top of a shoe, which didn't make any goddamn sense.
It was exactly Sasha. It was exactly Sasha, and I actually enjoyed it.
She wore the same hair she wore for the punk challenge.
She did,
which is
that wasn't the punk challenge. That was the big hair challenge she wore that for.
Yeah, the big hair challenge. Yeah. Whatever. I did not like. Good. She looked like a plush elephant. Yeah. Is what she looked like.
Trinity looked good, and so did Peppermint. I think Peppermint was my favorite overall.
Peppermint is showing them new titties.
Oh yeah.
They're on display.
But you know what I liked about her? I mean, like, you could guess that everyone would go really over the top for the reunion show, and basically everyone did. And then Peppermint went really nice, classic, simple adornments showing off her tits. And she just looked really nice and good. And to me, that stood out from the pack, because everyone else was just all like, rhinestones, like neon colors, I'm wearing a bag, like that kind of shit. And so I really like that about Peppermint.
To me, I think that the best dressed in the entire evening was Miss Trinity in that stoned gown.
It was very nice.
It was spectacular. It was everything I loved about the final gown that she wore on the runway of the final studio episode. It spoke to her pageant roots. I liked her hair. I think she's got a very interesting style with how she does big hair, but with like the flat side. I find that very fascinating. I find that very enjoyable. I enjoy looking at that. To me, the best dressed was Trinity, and the worst dressed was James Mansfield, who I don't even know if James took off the outfit that James wore.
Walked in, huh?
And he walked in, wore the same thing, being like, you know what? People did not drink this in enough. Drink it all the James in. Drink it all in.
The only other note from the episode was like Nina's paranoia is just like not going away.
Oh my god.
But you know what? I'm like so over it. I'm just so over it. Yeah. I love Nina, and going back through the show, I like her even more as a performer. And you know what? My favorite thing we watched today. Finally, we watched the Rue driving interviews.
Yes, because I was going to bring that up about Nina as well.
And her driving interview is by far the best.
It is.
It is so funny. She is so just present and there.
But you can tell that Rue actually has a genuine rapport.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With this
queen, it's amazing.
With Nina.
Yeah.
And but the other thing is, what I found about watching all of the RuPaul's drives after everything is done, is almost every queen that was on there called the shots for what was going to happen to them during the show.
Yeah.
Like, even Nina said that, she has problems with her family.
Yeah.
And thinking that her family's out to get her and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Alexa said, like, similar shit about herself. She's like, I'm going to be my own worst enemy. And it's all like, yep, that's fucking it.
That's exactly what it was. I'm going to have trouble. It was very enlightening to see all of that stuff unfold before any of this stuff happened. Yeah. It was great to watch
really
the drives.
Yeah.
But I think that we've talked about the reunion a bit more than we. I think we covered about it. I think that everybody who listens and watches this podcast got everything they wanted out of the reunion, because
it was so good.
It was so good.
Return to drama.
Everything that we wanted. So to jump right into our closing.
The one thing we have to discuss.
Okay.
The sudden death lip sync SmackDown that will be the finale next week. That was announced at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. Okay. I don't know how I feel about the sudden death lip sync SmackDown, because they just used a bunch of adjectives.
Yes.
To describe what is probably going to be a very similar situation to what we had last year, unless they do some sort of bracket.
Or last main season.
Yeah, unless they do some sort of bracket where they put two queens against each other, and then the winner of those two move on, which I don't think is very fair.
Our question is, so she didn't describe it as a lip sync for your life. She described it as a sudden death lip sync SmackDown.
Yes.
So this can go one of three ways, I suppose. It could be bracketed off. I think that's the least likely scenario.
I'm just bullshitting.
I think we could have another 4-way lip sync, which I don't really want to see.
Don't want that,
because it didn't really work last time.
Nope.
It was kind of boring, like whatever. And then the last way, which I think is the most likely, is you get each queen coming out giving a full lip sync performance like we had on the Bob season.
Yes.
And then that is being used as the basis to judge who is the overall winner of the season.
And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because that is also sudden death. They all get to lip sync once.
Yes.
And then suddenly there's one winner.
Yes.
Yes. Now, and everyone else dies.
That doesn't change anything for them, really.
No. But it sounds good on TV.
It does. And it makes it clear that, like, next week matters and you have to watch.
Yes. Well, of course it does, because next week is
when we find out who
the hell's going to win this.
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
Become
the next fucking star.
America's next
drag superstar. So, we just finished talking about their looks at the finale special. So let's talk about some looks overall. And Alex Woodside. Let's talk about looks. We're going to talk about looks.
Yep.
Break down the categories of the looks that we're going to talk about right now. Okay. What are we going to start with?
So what we're going to start with, we're going to talk about top looks for the finalists.
Yes. So we're going to do the top 3 looks for all 4 finalists.
That's correct.
3 looks.
Yeah.
3 looks for 4 finalists.
That's right.
Yes.
And we discussed at length whether we were going to do 4 looks for 4 finalists, and we decided no. Just because they changed the game doesn't mean we have to change it.
Exactly.
Yes. So, top 3 looks for the 4 finalists.
4 finalists.
We're going to do the top 10 looks overall.
10 looks overall.
All right, we're going to do the bottom 3 looks.
Bottom 3 looks, which is going to be tough because I have more bad looks than I have good looks.
And then we're going to do Rue looks.
Yes, then we're going to do Rue looks.
So, just overall, going through the whole season, I'm going to say, as far as looks are concerned, very lackluster.
I totally agree. As we are going through looks, and we are going one by one through each one, I had trouble finding looks for certain queens, and I was surprised by the looks I was able to find for other queens.
I had the same experience.
But on the whole, very disappointing, sickening runway looks for the entire season.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
Yeah, there was very few moments when I was just all like, God, that is it. I am living. There was very few livable moments on that runway this season, and that's a big disappointment, I am afraid to say.
Especially for a VH1 season.
Yeah.
For the first VH1 season. Yeah. It's very disappointing.
It is.
So, of the top 4, who do we want to start with? I don't want to start with I don't want to start with Sasha.
I want to start with Sasha.
I think I want to end with Sasha.
Do we want to start then with Trinity?
Let's start with Trinity.
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like Trinity had the most looks that I enjoyed out of any queen of this entire season.
That would be accurate for you.
I drank her in a lot.
Yeah.
I had a lot. I praised her a lot, and the things that I didn't like about her looks were not so bad that I had to, even rethink the way that I judge somebody's looks in order to give it a pass, like I have to do with certain queens that we're going to talk about last. Yes. So since Trinity's sort of my queen,
you take control, baby.
I'm gonna take control. This is the first look that I'm going to put forth for Miss Trinity as being potential for top looks. That is, I feel like
from episode 3.
Episode 3, her princess look.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that princess look.
Totally,
I think
fantastic.
it gave body. It had a reveal.
Yep.
Everything about it, a fantastic headdress. The
Wonderful.
the bathing suit was good. It had it. I don't know. We're looking at the picture right now. It's magic. It's
gems,
wonderful.
Kind of match the headpiece, even though the gems aren't in the headpiece, but color-wise, they match kind of perfectly.
Yes.
Which I really appreciate about this look.
Yes.
It is there for me. I would say that's probably my favorite look from her.
You think it's your favorite look?
Maybe.
Because I wasn't sure. I don't know if it's my favorite look. I think we'll talk about my favorite look a little bit
in a couple minutes.
Well, yeah, you're gonna do the next look.
I'm doing the next look?
Yeah, you're gonna do the next look.
Bitch.
That's how we're gonna do it. I start with one, then you do one, then I do one.
I thought you were taking over.
No. We're just gonna go. So yeah, this is like it's everything that that the challenge was all about.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fantastic challenge. It was a construction challenge, and if you listen to the podcast, if you listen to our seasons all the way through, you'll notice that at the tail end of the podcast, I was talking about how I wanted more creative, and what I failed to realize is that the front half of the season was a very creative season.
It was very, very creative heavy.
It was very creative heavy.
And I will say that
coming
episode
off the
3,
top.
that construction look, which was like creative princess
Yes.
and a sidekick challenge, was an excellent creative challenge. I think it was probably one of the highlights of the season for looks.
I agree.
We got a lot of really fantastic stuff out of that.
Yeah, I think overall, conceptually, it might be one of the best episodes of the season in terms of what it gave us. Because I think there's a lot of really great looks that came from that princess season.
I totally agree.
So I'm all in. I'm all in for that.
So I'm going to skip all the way to the end because I'm going to presume that this isn't what your favorite is, but perhaps one that I liked quite a bit from Trinity, which was her her episode 12 look.
Yes.
Her big finish look. Her village people look.
Again, interesting because it's also a constructed look. She constructed that on the show. So that's 2 looks that she didn't bring in a bag with her, that she made. So I think that says a lot about her eye for design.
She adorns it well. Again, she has the patches and the badge. The badge is laying over top, which I don't know, kind of bothers me a little bit now that I'm looking at it. But what I do really, really love is I love this like crazy windswept, totally up hair.
Yes.
With the cop hat and the visor. I think the whole thing looks better with the visor.
I like the fact that the visor can be removed, though.
Yes.
I think that's also nice because we're able to see. We can see her face.
Yeah.
And we can see the work on. We can see the work.
Yeah.
And the work.
What I think I like a lot about this too, because I think a lot in this season, particularly with one queen, the kind of neck down and waist down of the looks were often overlooked, but I think that was a theme kind of running through a lot of the show, was that maybe the top was all right and then the bottom was meh, but people not really giving kind of put together looks head to toe.
Yes.
And with this one, that's not the case. She has a really great kind of lacy a skirt on.
Yeah, with some sexy leg.
A sexy leg, but what I really like about it is that kind of piece of chain you kind of see, if I can do it this way, up there.
Yeah.
That little bit of chain kind of
coming down. Yeah, the ruching almost.
Yeah.
It's like almost a ruching at the top of the thigh.
Yeah.
I think it's very good. And the picture also doesn't do it justice, and the lighting doesn't do it justice. #fire the lighting director. That the outfit is a deep blue as opposed to a black, which is also very nice.
You can barely tell.
You can barely tell that in the pictures that we're looking at. But this is absolutely a phenomenal look. I mean, Trinity the Tuck Taylor is one of the strongest queens of the season.
No question.
In terms of looks.
No question.
No question. So I'm gonna go right to my favorite look.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to your next look for one, Trinity. Doug Taylor, unless you agree with me. This one, I'm just going to pop the picture up. Bam. The final gown.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely my favorite look. It's the epitome of a pageant queen.
Yep.
But it's not just like your average pageant gown.
No.
It's got interest in it. The stoning on it's interesting. The nude panel is interesting. The hair is there.
The hair, again, is my favorite part of this.
The hair, yes, the hair and the jewels. It's just fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got a leopard print feel to it, but it's like a sequence leopard print.
You know what
it's
I like?
Wonderful.
Looking at this picture right now, I like that her eyeshadow is blue,
yes,
which is not carried through in anywhere
else, no,
except for maybe just in the glimmers of the rhinestones.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart. I like it quite a bit because there is gold in her eyeshadow as well to kind of lift that out. It's very nice.
Yes. So that's absolutely. I mean, this also might be one of my favorite looks of the season. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
We got going there. Alex, do you have another look for one Trinity Taylor?
I do have one more look. Let's see if I can quickly find it. It might take me a second to discover its exact location, but maybe here.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, I also had this one written down.
It is her savage fun fur look.
Faux fur look.
Yeah.
Which I think was the essence of what they wanted in the Village People challenge out of Alexis.
Okay.
Like, I feel like this is like the native.
She could have done that and really, yeah.
I also think that this is a much better version of the Kimora Black look that she did.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what challenge that was. We can go back
Whatever.
and find that. It doesn't matter. We don't have to look at it. But yes, this is again fantastic. But it also looks at the versatility of Trinity in terms of what she can do with her makeup. The fact that she brought that black into the tips of her fingers.
That's like my favorite part of this outfit. Not her hair. It's the black on her fingers.
Yes.
Instead of wearing a glove, instead of giving herself long nails, she brings like this color element from her hair and her forehead, which is also has that brownish black on it.
But what I love about it is it tells a story because she's got that black bar on her forehead as it goes up.
Yep.
And you can just see that in this tribalness that she's like sticking her hands in the charcoal and she's painting her face with this charcoal. That's the story that I'm getting out of this. She's like, this is all applied with her hands and that, and she's got this really interesting like nose piece that goes up to her ear. She's got a tastefully appropriate headdress, which is something we also talked about. I don't know. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah, it's a headdress without being offensive.
Yes.
I think maybe. I don't know enough to say that for sure, but it seems
I'm going to say
likely.
that. It feels like that's what that is.
Because it doesn't feel like it's really a headdress of any particular type. It's just really a headpiece.
And
you know,
spectacular
look.
Absolutely spectacular. I mean, I could talk about Trinity all day. I want to highlight one more look and then we'll move on.
Oh my god!
I want to highlight one more look and then we're going to move on.
Oh my god!
And that's Trinity Taylor right here. Boom, the Club Kid look.
The Club Kid look.
The Club Kid look.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we could talk about Trinity without talking about the Club Kid look.
Yeah.
Trinity talked a lot about how the Club Kid look was a
challenge for her. Yeah.
Her stepping out of her box, her stepping out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
What I like about looking at this picture right now is that she actually had a mouthpiece that went over her face. Like she had like a gas mask. Now I can't remember if she walked on the runway with that. I think she might have took that off. Because a lot of times the one picture we're looking at is like the picture before they go on the runway.
Yeah. But I think she walked out with it. She definitely did.
Have.
No, she definitely did.
Either way, this just shows her versatility. Yeah. It shows her makeup skills. Like, it's a better rainbow look.
It shows her creativity. I just like the idea that she's wearing this, like, basically a polka dot outfit, and then some of the polka dots are literally coming off of her outfit.
In the hair.
Yeah.
It's very graphic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite looks. That's what I got to say about Trinity. I think that Trinity... My favorite thing about Trinity is... she was very surprising.
Yep.
And she was always somebody to be excited for and to be looking forward to on the runway.
Yep.
When she came out on the runway.
Totally. That is absolutely true. So how do we rank these?
Marks.
How do we rank these?
Are we going to rank them?
Well, we got to give the top 3.
Okay.
That was like 5.
Okay, so we both agree on fur.
Yes.
So fur is on there.
Okay.
So we're going to go top 3 in no particular order. So I'm going to say fur is on there.
Okay.
Do you agree on the gown?
Okay, well, give me the other ones.
Okay.
Before you make me agree to things.
Our 4.
Trick me.
Our 4.
Yes.
We have the gown.
Yes.
We have Club Kid.
Yes.
We have Fun Fur.
Yes.
We have the gown and Cop.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll agree with fur that we're gonna. And Princess. We put Princess on there too.
Oh, we did put Princess on there too.
Yes.
That's difficult.
This is the only queen I think
Princess again.
There's Princess.
I do really like Princess.
It shows her makeup chops too.
Yeah, it does.
Do you think that this overtakes her fun fur? Do you think this is a better representation of her?
Maybe. Damn. Really fucking put ourselves in a corner here. You know that?
I know, by talking about a lot of looks. Yes. This is legitimately one of the only queens that I had this many top looks for.
She also has some really bad ones.
Like what?
Like what?
Like what? You can pull them up. We got pictures. The hometown look?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fine. Okay. I don't know. Is this a bad look?
You forget what's on the back side of that.
I know, but the
giant asshole.
You love the giant asshole that looks like the sun, though.
I do love the giant asshole. It is absolutely ridiculously awful, though.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree. I can agree on that.
Wait, I got one more.
You know what? There is also one more, and that one more is roast. Yes. That's whenever she does the redneck Lurleen. With the really obnoxious jeans.
They're terrible.
She takes risks. That's what I love her.
And the jeans are very much within Trinity's style palette.
Absolutely.
It's just like the wrong direction.
Yes, it is. But you want to know the funny thing about this? This is not even one of the worst looks of the season.
No,
it's not.
It's no. I mean, it's no Glenda Wicked Witch of the West from that same episode, but
right? Okay, but Trinity. So yes, she's not. Listen, she had 2 bad looks. I defy you to go to any other one of her looks and read her to filth. Yeah, I know you're looking at them right now. So, Alex, we give you 5. So we got Fun Fur, we got Princess, we got Cop. Yeah,
Cop. I can leave Cop off.
I
feel comfortable leaving Cop off.
Okay, so then I think that it should be down to. So if we have it all in tabs, let's swap over. We can show people. We can just switch between the tabs. Okay, so Fun Fur. So Fun Fur's there. Yeah.
Club Kid. I think Club Kid has to be on there.
I feel like Club Kid has to be on there, but at the same time, what she delivers with Princess, I feel like is also there with the Club Kid.
Yeah. I would take Princess over Club Kid. I would.
Okay, so I'll agree on that. Okay. So we cut that. So now we're down to 3 looks.
We are down to 3 looks.
So Trinity Taylor's top 3 looks in our season, in no particular order: the gown from the finale, saving the best for last, the princess look, and finally the Fun Fur look, which I think is a surprising look. I think it's a look that a lot of people are over, that people wouldn't think of right off the top, is this Fun Fur look. I think
it's really great.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Who are we going to talk about next?
Who are we going to talk about next? Let's talk about Peppermint.
Okay, cool. You know what? we forgot something. Boom. The Peppermint. Bam. We talked about Peppermint. We didn't put the graphics up.
No, we didn't.
Okay. So Peppermint, when we talked about this, we talked about queens, and what we wanted to do is you wanted to do top 4. And I said, no, let's not do top 4. Let's do top 3, because I think we're going to have trouble coming up with
top looks for Peppermint is what we said. And very specifically.
But upon watching,
no, yeah, totally wrong of us.
I'm totally wrong because I have 4 looks.
I think honestly,
for Peppermint.
I think between her, she has a lot of good looks. She looked great a lot.
She looked terrible a lot too. I would say that in the season she's 50-50. But she ended the season very strong.
She did end the season strong.
She ended it strong, but she started really fucking weak.
She started fairly weak. I don't know. I'll put this out there right now.
Okay, you stick your first one.
I will. Not the entrance.
No. What do you want it? Hometown?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Hometown, the America look.
Yeah.
Put that up on the screen.
Fucking fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
A look that happened early.
Yeah.
On what could have been seen as a nothing episode because nobody got eliminated.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people might have overlooked.
Yeah.
These early episodes, because I know personally I did.
Yes.
I 100% agree with you. That America hometown look, that's on my list. That is top 3.
Because it is so totally killer.
Yes.
What I thought, someone else had the almost exact same look. I mean, it was Aja.
The America look?
Yeah. It was Aja.
Okay, Aja, yes, the Brooklyn Queen, except it looks like hers came out of a bag.
Yeah, well, I just want to point out the difference here. This is what makes Peppermint's look so fantastic. Is like, this is how kind of maybe a basic queen is going to approach this look. This is how a fucking rock star approaches this look. You know, it's this America like cape in the background. It's the stars that not as a crown, but as literally coming from her head, the white, majestic gray hair. She is Lady
Liberty.
Yeah,
she is the embodiment of Lady Liberty.
And you know wonderful. What? I think that was like the first indication, and I think we really overlooked at this point of her ability to wear a look and live it as a character. Then we saw it again most clearly when she took on Britney Spears, which she had no real experience doing per se. And she owned it. And she's not actually in the Britney outfit for that long on screen in the episode, but it's so memorable because she's so good in it.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with this. Yep. This is the look. The next look I want to highlight 100% is Peppermint in this look right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Princess Challenge look.
Yes.
Where she was Princess, I believe it was Carcinogena.
Yes.
Yes. With Pilot Light as her little friend. And this look was spectacular, and a look that she made, and it's oozing with character. It's got great hair, got a great neck piece. She worked it on the runway. She made everything about this work. This is a fantastic look from Peppermint. And again, this is coming from the Princess Challenge, which I do think that whenever we start going over the top looks of the season overall, that we're going to look at this Princess Challenge again, because I have one that I think a lot of people might overlook as well. But this look is spectacular from Peppermint.
Yeah, you can't really see it in this particular photo because we're blocking it. But in this corner right here is where you have the bottom of her dress, which brings that red that you're seeing kind of around her neck into the kind of the frill at the bottom of her dress, which is super great. It also drags a bit.
Well, what I love about it is like this. The skirt comes down to a puff, and then it has that tulle in the bottom, and the tulle kind of feels like she's walking on a smoke.
Yes.
So that it looks, it's very evocative. It's very evocative from head to toe in terms of what she's trying to.
Also super nice.
Yeah, and it also the headpiece ties into the Pilot Light sort of headpiece that Pilot Light has on as well. I love this look.
You know what else I really like about it? Is her makeup in this look is, I would say, starkly different. It gives a very different perspective on her face than basically everything else she wears. And I think that's really impressive that she's able to give a look that is so complete with something that is so drastically different without being something that's not beauty makeup.
Yes, but I think that's the other reason why we brought this up with Trinity. It's like we like Trinity's princess look for the exact same reasons.
Yeah,
she brought in some cartoon characters to it.
Yeah,
a different set of makeup skills. Was brought into making that look into what it is. Alex Woodside. You can take the next look.
I will. I
have a feeling that I know what it's going to be.
Do you know what it's going to be?
I don't know. Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Did I have this one written down? I did not have this one written down.
This is her Elvis white party look.
Ooh, okay.
It is sexy as fuck. Again, bringing in super makeup skills here. We're talking about a heavy white powder on a dark skin palette. Super awesome. She pulls it off with total grace.
Now, I didn't have this one on my top 3 list.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in that early section, she really relied on this trench coat look.
Yes.
A little bit too hard.
I would agree. But you know what? Having said that, at this point in the season, I believe of 3 of 4 episodes, Trinity had worn a bodysuit 3 times.
Okay.
So I'm just keeping in mind, at this point in the season, a lot of people are bringing out a little bit of samesies.
Good point. Okay,
so I wouldn't hold it against her, but I love the hair in this piece.
It's fantastic. I do love the makeup too.
The jewels that kind of go up the side and then are pulled into her face, and then onto her jacket as well. I just think it's beautiful. I love, like, they described it as her kind of like Elvis look, and I think that's awesome. Again, she's like embodying this outfit in this like absolutely miraculous way. That upon second viewing, I think this was the look that I really fell in love with Peppermint on this look.
I do think that this is also sort of the statement piece for her trench coat looks too.
Yes,
this is definitely the best she looked in this in the trench coat phase of peppermint. And I think we're going to try to leave the tabs open because that's going to make
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So then it's because you didn't bring that up. I have to bring this up
because
like I was saving it because to me I had the leather look from her final look also is one of my favorites.
Also great.
But quite frankly, looking at the white look, I do think the white look might edge that out. But this is her look. This is her Club Kid look. For those who are not watching on YouTube, I encourage you to go do so.
Yeah.
Her Club Kid look is everything.
Yes.
And I will admit freely that I was an idiot when I watched it the first time because I did not realize her name is Peppermint.
and she's peppermint.
Dressed as a literal fucking peppermint. So for me, I feel like Peppermint. This is definitely in Peppermint's top 3 looks. Well, I feel like this is when she really. Yeah. I feel like this is when she really came into her own.
Well,
this
but
was
I think it's not
the harbinger.
I think this is her own because I think she's Peppermint. She is a club kid. That's like her background. I think this is probably a look that is built in that era of her career. That came out of that era. Maybe not this particular outfit, but outfits like this. I think was probably her calling card. I mean, like we don't do a lot of BDR, so people, you can correct us and let us know. But I have a feeling that this is a quintessential Peppermint look.
If she didn't go through a phase of this look, I would be amazed.
Yeah, right.
Right, like that's so. Yeah. Can we both agree that in top 3 Peppermints, this is here?
100%.
Okay,
because it is Peppermint.
Absolutely. So let's go through the tabs. I'm gonna switch through. Can we agree? Can we both agree that Lady Liberty is in her top 3 looks?
Yes.
So so now we're down to some gripes.
Yes, we are.
What is the last one going to be? Do you think that it's the princess look, or do you think that it is the white look? And Alex Woodside, I feel like looking at the
options
that we have here, flipping through each one of them, I feel like the white look, surprisingly, and it caught me off guard. Because I didn't even consider it until you actually showed it to me.
Well, but
I think it is a quintessential look.
It is, and I think, you know what? I'm going to bring this up because you'll love this.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems with this look, it's not a problem with the look, it's a problem with the lighting again, is that her face on the show would have been totally lost. You would not have picked up on any of the quality detail that she's put in. The fact that she is using white around her eyes and the edge of her face would not have picked up at all. Because you can even see like her rhinestones. Everything it's like blending in with the back of the runway.
# Fire Lighting Director.
Yeah, which has just been a problem the whole season long because she put in a lot of really great work into this outfit.
So yes, I also got to bring it up because I forgot about this until this very point.
Yeah.
What I found the most appalling is that the pageant on the very first episode, the Gaga pageant, that runway was lit better than every other fucking runway to come out through the entire show. It was lit better than every single runway to happen in all of these damn episodes.
And you know what I realized when watching that again?
What'd you realize?
That was probably the untucked room.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah. That they just kind of whipped it up.
Yeah, because it looked very whipped up. And I think that they
probably... It couldn't have been, though.
No?
Because there was an untucked that episode.
Oh, there was an untucked that episode. I forgot about that. Man.
So, anyway, enough speculation. Let's go through the 3 peppermint looks. Lady Liberty from the very, very beginning, the white look from early on, and then the peppermint look, which is, again, I can't say enough about it. It's just everything. It's everything.
It is everything.
It's absolutely everything. Yeah. So, Alex Woodside, who are we going to move on to next?
We have to move on to Shay because you said you wanted to do Sasha last.
Absolutely. So, here's the thing about Miss Shea Coulee. I had trouble coming up with 3 looks that I really liked from her.
Yeah, I had trouble as well.
And I didn't think that would be the case because there's so many people, myself included, up until this point, who stopped and said to themselves, you know what, Shea Coulee? Shea Coulee is a look queen who has delivered on the runway consistently.
Well, because she feels like the clear winner of the season.
In a lot of ways, yes.
Coming into it, she is the favorite to win. Now, I don't think... We'll get into that later, but that is the current mood, definitely online, from my experience and talking to people on the streets here in Toronto, that she's considered to be the obvious favorite. Whether that is fair, we will discuss later. But I had the same problem. I was going through, and unlike with Peppermint, when I was all like, "Oh, damn, that is a good look. Oh, damn, that's a good look too."
Right? I couldn't do that.
I wasn't doing it. I was like, "That's I was very rarely like, "That's a bad look." So it's not like there's like a couple that. There's one very specific one that is I would consider bad. Let's see how you deal with it. I think we discussed it on the show, but
so this is the first one that I'm going to bring up.
Okay.
Because I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring this one up. I feel like, again, going back to this challenge. Oh wait, I wasn't ready. Oh, boom.
There you go.
Going back to this challenge.
Yep.
The Princess Challenge once again.
Yep.
I think this was a turning point episode for us in the season where we started realizing that we made a mistake.
Yes.
With Shea Coulee.
Yes.
Because this mermaid gown construction challenge.
Yes.
Is just spectacular.
It is really spectacular.
It is so good. The way it hits the ground, the way it cinches at the knee, the way it floats out. You get it is a mermaid dress. Everything about it's a mermaid dress. There's so much deep detail in the cincher, in the neck piece, in the jewels, in the lips. I understand where she's going with the red hair. She's trying to do a Little Mermaid Ariel.
You know what I want to say about that too, though?
What do you want to say?
That wig is perfectly matched to the tone of blue in her outfit and the tone of her skin. Like, it is a perfect color.
Yes.
Like juxtaposition between the red and the blue,
but
then it does not clash with her skin tone, and that's like all in the makeup and her ability to really make that work for her, and it's really fantastic.
Was this one of your looks?
This was one of my looks.
Okay.
It's like beauty. It's a total beauty.
Okay, so I can agree. I think we can confidently put this on our top 3, correct?
Totally.
Okay, and I think the next one, I don't even have to look at the tab. I know you opened the tab, so I'm just going to click it. So you brought this one up?
I did.
Whoa, okay, maybe not. Okay, Alex Woodside, you try to explain this. I'm not going to talk about it for a second.
I don't know. I was having trouble when it came up. I mean, looking on it kind of in closer inspection, I may kind of have a lot of second thoughts about it. I want to take a look at it. On the runway, it looked like a lot of fun. I enjoyed the lips, but in these close-up pictures, I have a lot of problems with it.
I have a lot of problems with it too. And okay, this is going to come. I'm glad these are the last 2 queens we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, although I do think that maybe in terms of trying to have a positive roller coaster, that maybe putting these 2 queens as the last 2 we're talking about is going to be difficult. But there are certain things that I cannot abide in my queens on the runway.
Yeah.
And one of them is a clear plastic fucking shoe.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
I cannot stand a clear plastic shoe.
Yeah.
I can understand why she is wearing it with these stockings, because the clear plastic of the shoe allows the shoe to be whatever color so that it all matches in there. And I get that. But I cannot abide a clear plastic stripper cliffhanger like this is. I can't abide it. And I think I didn't even like this when I first saw it going down the runway, and I was in the crazy minority of the whole situation, because you liked it the first time you saw it going down the runway, and everybody on the internet fucking loved it.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
No, when you look at it like this, it just really does not hold up.
No,
well.
it does not hold up at all.
And it's the leggings are so bad,
and the shoe is so terrible. It's so bad. And I can't abide by that shoe. I can't abide by it. I see, Alex Woodside, when you were talking about it, I thought that the look that you were going to already have brought up is this look right here. Let's bring it in.
Yes.
I thought that this was going to be your look that you brought in.
No, well, I was trying to wait to get there, because this is
the look.
It is the look.
It's the look.
It may very well be, and we will discuss later, the look of the season. Because it is hot.
Yeah, I mean,
it is fucking hot.
I will allow arguments.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. But it is so good, and it stood out immediately.
Yes.
As being a clear winner.
Yes.
And I remember, I can't remember. I think it was Trinity who called her in the reunion, being like, "Oh, it's not that good." It's all like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? This is exactly that good."
It's good. It's it's so absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
That we can't bring it up. It is. It's one of the best looks ever.
It's the high boots matching perfectly with her helmet. It is the plaid, not only in the cape, but also running up into her headpiece. That is just so totally fantastic.
Now, Alex, I just brought a picture up. Did you have this on your top looks?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe it might have been this one that I meant to...
we'll transition up, yep.
To bring up, because it was the lips thing.
Yes.
So I had lips written down, and so I think I just went to the wrong lips, because her other look also had lips on it.
Yes, in looking at them both side by side, do we still have them both? No, we don't. Yeah, there we go. We can look at them both side by side here if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between these two looks.
Yes, there is.
But, and they're
common themes is what it is.
Common themes. Yes. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I sat down and I thought about Shay, I said to myself, Shay's going to be easy to do top 3 looks for. I can guarantee you that one of the top 3 looks for me is going to be her club kit. I said that. And then I saw the club kit come out on the runway again. And I stopped for a minute, and I second-guessed myself because, again, you got the clear plastic heel, which I can't abide, and it looks so basic compared to what other queens.
I wouldn't say it looks so basic. I mean, her headpiece is...
the mask, I love the mask.
The mask is great with the crown. Steal that right off of Sasha's head.
From the neck up.
Yes.
Once again, the theme of the season is from the neck up.
Yeah.
From the neck up, we got something here.
Yeah.
From the neck down, there are questionable decisions.
Totally.
To me,
well, she's wearing the same type of weird plastic legging as she's wearing in this look.
Yes.
So it's red this time.
It's like a 4-way stretch.
And this time it's like,
it's
green.
Teal.
Yeah, teal. I like this though. I like the throw, like the jacket.
Like the king's jacket. Yeah. I can agree on that.
The bathing suit isn't great. The lips, obviously, the rocky lips, I love.
Yeah, but the rocky lips look out of place though because
I don't think they look
else.
They look out of place on the bathing suit, but they don't look out of place in the outfit.
No, they don't. But there's nothing. The bathing suit looks so basic.
Yeah.
Other than the lips.
Yeah.
The lips have nothing contextual around it on the bathing suit.
Yeah.
Like I would have liked to see some stoning around it. Maybe if the bathing suit wasn't red, maybe if it was black with the lips on there to make more of a stark contrast.
Yeah.
I think maybe I would have enjoyed that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got. Do you have another look that you want to put forward? Because I have one more I could put forward.
What can you put forward?
Shay, which is this one right here. Bam.
Oh yeah, the cloud look.
This is her Lady Gaga look that she wore.
Yeah.
Which, on retrospect, really struck me. And I'm looking at it again. It's unlike anything else she's ever done. She is working it on this runway. Yeah. She's got a fierce walk.
Yeah.
The hair is there.
Yeah.
The makeup is right.
Yeah.
The gown is right.
Yeah.
The nails are right.
Yeah.
This is right. This is right.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. I don't really have much else. Honestly, I think I only circled it twice in rewatching the runways. So I will say that this is a deserving piece. I love the blonde. Well, she called it like urine yellow.
That's what Gaga called it. Yes.
Yeah.
I almost wore a urine yellow wig. It's actually right behind me.
Yeah.
Can't see it. I know I can't move my chair around so you can see it. Anyway, I almost wore that same color hair today. So Alex Woodside, let's try to break it down for Shea Coulee. Would you agree that first off, the construction worker is there?
Obviously.
100%.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see if we can cut this. This is done.
This is definitely done.
This is her monster look. What episode is this from? Even?
Fun Fur.
This is the Fun Fur look.
Yeah.
Boot.
Yes.
Boot. Okay, so to me, princess look.
Yep.
Construction worker look.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga white look.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one more time for the people watching on stream. The princess look, again, everything about it. I love it. It's a gown. She didn't rock that many gowns.
No, she didn't.
But she can rock a gown, and she looks stunning in that gown. The construction worker look, everything about it.
Yeah.
Love everything about it. I want a hard hat that's like that. It's just amazing.
It's fucking hot.
It's hot. It's amazing. It's great.
Yeah.
And finally, the Lady Gaga look.
Yeah.
One of the first looks she delivered the entire season, and a look that I didn't even think about until we rewatched, because I think at this point she was so under our radar.
Yes, super under our radar.
That we had a difficult time.
No, I'm gonna say though, looking at these three looks,
what can you say?
She always looks good in makeup wise, but her makeup isn't as versatile as the other two queens we've looked at so far, Peppermint and Trinity.
Yes,
whose looks are fairly distinct throughout. You know, obviously with common elements because, you know, you beat your face in a certain kind of way. But shades are much more common. You get the hard line on the cheek. You got the hard line matching that line, coming up from the eyes,
and the way that she highlights her tear duct is also it's very very Shay.
Yes, and it's not bad because it looks great. So I'm not trying to read her for filth or anything. I'm just pointing that out.
She doesn't vary it up as much, but also it's harder for her to do in a darker skin tone.
But Peppermint does. And I think that's really significant.
I can totally agree with that. Yeah. I can totally agree. Okay, Alex Woodside.
Yes.
We're on to our last queen.
Yes.
I'm going to transition into this.
Whew.
Bam. We're talking about Seicha
Halur.
We're talking about Seicha Halur. And, okay. I guess, you know what? I'm going to start. Okay. I'm going to start, okay?
Okay.
Because I only have 2 looks, and one of them I'm not even sold on.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sold on. So I'll go to the one look that I think that she sold the best to me. That's this one right here.
Yeah.
Bam. Oh, wait a second. Oh, did the wrong thing again. Boom, boom, bam. This right here, the Lady Gaga applause makeup look with the frilly pant, with the skirt. It everything about this was good. This is a thesis on what she was about as well. It meant something to her. Gaga loved it. There was it had allusions to the music video in it. I do think that in the confines of the challenge, this was definitely a home run in that regard.
I don't particularly love it. I mean,
it's slim pickings for me here, guy.
I get it. I get the whole thing. I mean, I'm gonna get like murdered. I'm not a huge Lady Gaga fan. I just think when you look at Lady Gaga, obviously in this makeup, it obviously stands out a lot more. Now, Sasha doesn't have like 6 hours to apply that makeup and like 3 assistants to do it. So obviously it's not going to be quite there. And this is really, really, it's all about the concept forward rather than anything else about it per se. But I get it, and I think it deserves to be on there because it is going to be her marquee look. I think.
I think it's her marquee out of the box look because everything else just feels like Sasha painting her face.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and everything else sort of has the exact same silhouette and look. I'm not even going to click anything else. I'm going to let you pull things up.
Yeah.
And then you're going to try to convince me, and I'm going to bring out what I hated about this.
Yeah.
About what she brought in. I find that a lot of her looks are very samey. I find that a lot of her looks are very, let's say, on the nose. And they come off more intellectual than they actually are. I think that she is definitely has to spend more time telling instead of showing. I mean, I don't need an essay on why everybody had to wear X thing or Y thing. And I do think that almost all of her looks, she has like an essay for every small decision that she made.
She does have a lot of essays.
She does. But I think that overall, the thing that I dislike most about her looks is how she can never manage to change her silhouette because of her drag style. It's never... Like, if you were to take every one of her looks and then just cut them out and then make them into, like, a black block standee, you wouldn't see any variation between them at all. The variation you would see is probably between hats and blobs that she calls hair. Everything else about it, there's, like, you don't get interesting curves, you don't get interesting... I don't know, it just seems to lack something interesting for me. And I just... I do not. I don't buy over intellectualizing your outfits as an excuse to continuously deliver something that is boring and simplistic and just not right. Anyway, let's go through. Oh my, that's Shea Coulee. You're wrong. Anyway, okay. You got some lined up?
I got some lined up. So let's talk about this one first, because it is the least like her typical looks.
Ugh. Okay.
Again, Neck up, I really like this. I actually really like this. The makeup matched with the white hair. I think that really works for her. Something I wish I would have seen a little bit more from her throughout the season. Obviously, she's very much into the bald thing, and goes with that kind of as a default. I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
Okay, so this is not in my list at all because of how off-put I was by the way that she described herself as she walked down the runway. I feel like if Sasha was muted and she walked down the runway, I wouldn't be so just upsetted by...
What did she even say? I don't even know what you're talking about.
This one was the one that she was trying to wear this classical outfit as a commitment to women's rights. Or something along those lines.
Yeah, but she says some shit like that every single time.
I don't know. It's like putting a lemon in my mouth. It's just ugh. Anyway, early in the season, Sasha really committed on the hard eyebrow.
Yes.
And you even heard her talking about it in the Untucks as the show went on. She felt like she was going to have to fight for her drag from square one.
Yeah.
And you can see that when she started to realize that her drag was becoming accepted, she stopped trying to make it so extreme as the entire thing went on.
Yep.
Which made me, like, I think that is something to really think about when you're talking about Sasha. Because she was willing to just try to do things to fight for what she thought is right, but whenever there was no fight to be had, she just relented.
Yeah.
So, like, why does she make this choice? Is it a choice just to try to say fuck you to somebody's, like, feelings on one thing or another? And
I don't know where you're going. You're so off track right now.
I'm kind of
just talking about her eyebrows. You know what? At the end of the day, her eyebrows are good. They look good. It's a good shape for her face. It really pulls together her face in a really great way. That's the reason that she does it as a baseline, and it's a good decision.
I disagree. The thing that really puts her face in, and this is the biggest piece of praise that I'm going to give Sasha, is I've been watching this a lot because I've been thinking about trying to change a lot of my makeup up quite a bit.
To be more like Sasha?
To change it up, like everything.
Yeah.
What I think that she does better than almost any queen, and it's because of the way that her face is, she does a crease at the bridge of her nose between her two eyes.
Yeah.
She does like a crescent moon that goes from the top of her eyes but doesn't go all the way to her crease.
Yeah.
It's just this really nice crescent that she puts into her makeup. She does it every single time, and it's incredibly flattering on her face. And it really does a great job of elongating the bridge of her nose and highlighting her eye.
Well, obviously not in that one.
Not in that one. But if you watch almost every one of her makeups...
Okay, well, let's talk about another one of her... Well, do you have anything actually specific to say about this other than her intellectualizing of it?
I like the crease.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the eyebrow, the way it's drawn on. I think the outfit's kind of okay. I find it a bit busy with the rainbows going across. The jacket popping out, I kind of wish the skirt wasn't fitted. I wish the skirt actually came out so it was more like a petticoat if you're going to go for that classic silhouette.
Yeah, I think there was a missed opportunity in this kind of region.
It needed a train.
Yeah.
It needed some sort of train.
Yeah, I mean, I like the cut. I like this. I like this. I don't like this. You need to describe it
with your words, too.
Okay, so I like the cut at the bottom of the jacket.
Yes.
It's a very nice line.
Yes.
And it's also a very nice line up across her booty to the small of her back.
Yes.
A great line there. What isn't great is the frill just coming out the back end of that.
Yeah, that frill needs to go all the way down.
Yeah, because it's weird because there is more frill at the bottom of it, but they don't match. And so there's a weirdness there.
There's a weirdness there.
Which is also kind of this line, makes this line on the back of her leg kind of weird.
Yes.
And, like, that can be... It's not uninteresting, and you could do something interesting with that. Like, if that frill wasn't there at the bottom of the jacket, I think you could do something to highlight this line compared to that.
It's a really weird line, though.
But it is a weird line, but it's the back of her leg, right? So you can make that work for you, because you can see her leg here, right?
It just... The skirt needs to come out a little bit more. The skirt needs to be a little bit more... like 1800s. That's what it needs to be.
Okay, but so that's one.
Anyway, that's one.
This one for me is a pretty classic Sasha look.
This is like quintessential Sasha.
Yeah. The best part of this
Jughead crown
in pink, kind of see through. The best part for me is like the tears in the makeup. The blue, I really like that blue. That shade is really nice. The worst part of this for me is the flower. It's just
I'll defend the flower though, because without the flower, it's just another saying.
I'm not saying you don't need something. I'm just saying I don't like the flower.
Well, I agree. It needs boobs.
Yeah.
But the flower sort of gives it that, like, the chest.
Yeah, the chest
feeling
illusion.
Of it. It gives it like that the breast illusion.
Yeah.
The illusion of figure, which this doesn't have. She looks like a hockey player in a sequin. She looks like a hockey player in a sequin jersey.
Okay. We'll move on to this one. This is absolutely a favorite look for mine. I love this look. It's her unicorn look. I think it is to die for. Her medieval tapestry look, if you will. I think it was by far the best unicorn look. Like, by far. It is inventive. It is everything that Sasha claims to be, but actually delivered in a dynamic fashion.
I'm going to relent on this one because I haven't seen it under this light yet.
Yeah.
The colors of the picture that we're looking at.
Yeah.
It looks so much more decadent.
Yes.
It's so much more vibrant.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more.
Yeah.
My criticism of this look is that it looks like it wears her more than she's wearing it. Yes. But with the pose that she's coming out with right now in this picture where she's spread out, it gives it a lot. You can see the dynamic things about it. You can see that, you can see the arms coming out. I just don't feel like she presented it well on the runway. But I can say this is probably one of her best looks.
What I will say is, I mean, like, I love this look. I love it head to toe. I mean, like, I think her makeup is appropriate for it, but I think it's in her makeup where she could have done maybe something different to own this piece a little bit more, to be a little bit more forward in it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because she is a little flat against the white kind of wig into a horn. She makes her face and her head kind of a part of the horn rather than the horn an extension of her head. And I think that's the big problem that you're maybe talking about there, but still I think it is sexy. I think it's a great shape on her hips.
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking at that one picture does sell it to me. I'm going to bring up one more.
Sure.
And this is one of the ones that I'm not sure about. But I want to talk about it. I want to see if we can talk about this.
Yeah.
This is her Madonna look.
Yep.
Her Madonna sexy kind of secretary look.
Okay.
Conceptually, I really like it.
Yep.
But I can't put it on one of my top lists because she's got no body in the top. And
she's got circles over her nipples.
She does, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just it's
you know what I think I failed to notice throughout much of the season?
What?
Is that Sasha has a really great hip. And she can totally work it when she accentuates it.
When she cinches it out.
Rarely does.
Yes.
Very, very rarely does she do this. In fact, if she wore boobs with those hips, she would be killer a lot of the time.
I would love this look if she did have some boob into it. But you see, the thing is, though, it's like I find that queens, even nowadays, in general, are moving away from trying to put some breasts on there, and they're trying to just, and not pad and just cinch and just be flat boy chest and flat chest and paint it on. I just think that it's such a missed opportunity. Breasts should be as much a tool to a queen as a lip color or a contour. Yeah, that's it. They should be. That's what it should be. And if you look at the picture that we're looking at right now, you can see that the big issue I have with it is Sasha on the very end, like the last segment of this picture,
giving full boy physique.
She's got full boy physique. She's got broad ass shoulders like mine, and she's just got
pecs.
She's got pecs. She's there. It looks like she's about to try to tackle somebody.
Yeah.
In the most fabulous game of football.
Yes.
But again, I can't.
But it is nice, and it is a different change. It's a change of pace a little bit on her makeup, especially with the mask on. She looks great with the mask on.
I feel like I like this from the toe to the top of the cincher, from the neck up.
Yeah,
I like that.
The opposite of what our theme for the season was.
A little bit. I just think that she's just missing something in the middle.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's some queens get so much into the statement.
Yeah,
of the gender fuck statement that they just. That they're looking at it being like, I want to present pretty without presenting, Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. I just want to look at one more look.
Her walk-in look?
Her walk-in look, because it is another very classic Sasha look. I just wanted to, in comparison to the pink look with the crowns. So obviously they're very similar.
Yes, but what you looking at, though, and I think this is the big thing for everybody to see when you're comparing these two looks, is in the walk-in look, you're seeing a Sasha Velour who's ready to defend every single thing and is ready to try to make everything as wild as possible, trying to be the outsider, working hard to be the outsider. And then if you look at the pink, you see a Sasha Velour who feels accepted and doesn't feel like they have to work to be the outsider.
Maybe so.
And I think that the pink look is much better than the walk-in look.
Okay, so let's talk. So we already have Gaga. We have Unicorn. Undeniably on the list.
Correct.
So where are we going for her third look? Whoops, I didn't mean to close that one. I don't know which one that was.
I would agree on the pink look.
The pink look?
I could agree on that.
I think it's classic Sasha.
I think, yeah, I think that in these best looks, what I'm really looking for is, I'm looking for one look that is a thesis on what the Queen's about. And then I'm looking for two looks that show versatility in one direction or another. I find that the pink look that Sasha wears is quintessential Sasha Velour. Quintessential Sasha Velour.
Totally.
I find the applause look to be, the best showing of her trying to go out of the box and be a little bit more avant-garde.
Yep. And I think her unicorn look is her best look overall.
I can agree with that. I think it's the most interesting outfit that she wore the entire time, even if she didn't really sell it well on the runway, which I don't feel like she did.
All right, so we got pink, unicorn, and Gaga for Sasha. So that is our top 4.
So let's talk about Queen's looks overall.
Okay.
So I have 2 looks that I want to highlight.
Okay.
I want to highlight 2 looks overall on the entire show. So let's start with, I don't think that we can have a top 10 look, a top 10 list, without including Valentina on it somewhere.
That is true. I'm glad that you picked that one out, because I was not actually having a lot of fun with that.
What with like picking a Valentina look?
Yeah, because I mean, again, with her, she always looks great. But the question is, like, show us what you got. Show us what you got.
So, my first, again, and you're going to see this, I have 2 looks that I'm putting on the overall top 10 from this episode. This is her princess look, where she's trying to be like a fairy ice princess. She looks like an ice dancer. In this look, she stoned those tights. She's perfect. She's beautiful. She stoned the tights, she looks like Linda Evangelista. She's a model.
Yes.
She combines all the amazing fun of standing there
and smiling.
But she looks beautiful in this.
She does.
I love everything about it. I like the fact that the arm ruffles are just on the arms, but it feels like they go all the way around. I think this is Valentina knowing how to wear something and sell it the way that Sasha didn't know how to sell her unicorn look, because she's taking something that's very small and making it seem large, whereas Sasha took something that seems large and made it look like she was overpowering herself. But I love this look. I love the hair. I love just the smoothness of the makeup. I love the starkness of the eye. I love just the bare leg. I love the gloves that are all stoned. I love the fairy and how the fairy. I don't know. It's whimsical. It's beautiful. It's everything. I love this look. This is a top 10 look for me, bar none. Period. Down the house boots. Alex Woodside, do you agree?
I totally agree.
Are you there?
I am.
Did you have this on your list?
No, I did not. But I was having a hard time with her because I find that a lot of her looks were very samey.
Yeah. But you feel like she needed to be on this
list. I knew she had to be on the list. There's no question. She is such a powerful look queen.
She has a presence.
Yes.
She has a presence when she's on the runway. And that's what everybody was attracted to watching the show.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody was scared of as she was there, because they knew that she had this presence. And it was even brought up during the Untucked that she had this presence, and not a lot of the queens kind of understood what was going through the camera.
Yeah.
What she was delivering on the runway, because they weren't there to see it and experience it from a judge's perspective. So they were just seeing her kind of be a little bit cagey, a little bit shady in the back, and that's what they saw, and that's what they stuck with. But that's not the case. That's not the case. So what do you have to? to bring up next?
Well, I will bring up.
I really hope you don't bring up the next one that I have. Anyway.
Well then, I don't think I will.
I don't think you will,
because it's going to be from one of my favorite queens, and I just want her. I want to give her a fair shake, because I love this look.
This is
Farrah.
A fantastic look.
This
is big hair pheromone.
Is so good. It was by far my favorite wig of the night.
I agree.
And the gown is also perfect. And I think in talking about looks that really nail kind of a queen's overall kind of style, I think this really speaks volumes to what Farrah is and what Farrah does, because she is total Vegas here, but she's also kind of has this country kind of like feel with the kind of Dolly Parton kind of feel to her hair, which I also totally love.
Because that's also how she described it too. She described the Dolly Parton-ness of this entire thing. I also love the colonial vibes it's getting. It's giving me like, colonial judge realness.
Well, she has these like
which I love.
Huge, beautiful earrings as well.
Fantastic.
The throw weird thing is a little weird.
She always has something weird.
Yes.
In all of her looks.
Yes. I just wanted to bring it up. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be on the top 10, but I did want to bring it up. I did want to discuss it because it is my favorite wig of the season, I would say.
Yes.
I just want to like go and like jump in that wig.
Okay. I have to bring up this look again from the Princess episode because again, this is Charlie Hyde's princess look.
Yeah.
It is spectacular.
Yeah.
And a look of the season.
Totally.
I think when you look at all the looks, Charlie might have had a bad run at the end with that lip sync.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I'm going to remember anything about Charlie, it's going to be this princess challenge, her hilarious fairy godmother.
Oh, perfect.
And this spectacular dress.
Yeah.
And she's the oldest queen in the entire show. Yeah. But she did the best job possible.
Yeah.
Of not showing her age, because she feels youthful, she feels young, she feels
gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I mean, everything about this, it's decadent, is what this.
What I really want to talk about is that material. The material is like it is like thick and sensual, and
layered,
regal.
Regal.
Yeah, it is just total killer.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it is really, really wonderful. I think that is like an absolute must on the list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, Alex, do you have?
You're gonna have to give me a second here. Collect my thoughts.
What's your thoughts?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Do you have one to bring up?
I
think what we have to consider, what I really want to consider, is like Nina, because I think Nina absolutely must be included on this list.
I can agree.
But the question is which. So I think Peach Nina is from the home look.
Yeah, I'll bring that up.
It is a huge look for Nina.
I think that skull look.
Yeah, no, see, I disagree. I was thinking about that too, because that skull look gave a really great lip sync, but there was so much wrong with that skull look, in that it was really only half an outfit.
And half a paint job too.
Yeah.
And that crow just kind of sat there, but it's amazing how it stayed.
It's a beautiful paint job on the front of her face. It's just not a complete outfit. There was another one, though, in a similar vein that I wanted to bring up. I'm just trying to find it. Sorry, you'll have to bear with us for a moment here, humans.
Okay, but we can take a look at this Georgia Peach look for people who are on stream. The Georgia Peach look, I mean, it's one of the first looks that we saw from Nina in the entire season. It was our first introduction to what Nina was about. And, I mean, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful look.
It is.
And, I mean, I think it's about as good a look as you can get, considering she didn't have a chance to be really samey at this point. And she gave a skirt, like a skirt silhouette, which is not something that she did a lot during the season.
No.
She was more about big hips and bodysuits every single time. Yeah, like that's what she was about. But you know, as we're in this moment, then I'll ask the chat some questions. Hey, chat, do you guys have anybody who you think should be in that top? Hey, you got something, Alex?
Well, I think I just gotta find it because I'm not actually sure. I think I already tried this one, but maybe not. No, I didn't. Yes, there she is.
So now we're looking at big hair Nina.
Yes.
The cat panther on the runway look.
This is, again, so I think this is it. I was trying to pull it up earlier, but I pulled up the fun fur look instead, which was not as hot, but did have the black tear in it. But this look, I think, is a very quintessential look for Nina. It is a very strong character face paint, but I would say it's probably the smoothest, most well-blended character piece she did all season.
I agree.
The hair, again, is totally fantastic. This is a great lip sync piece. She lip synced in this outfit and beat, I believe, no, not Valentina. Who'd she beat? She beat Aja in this outfit.
And rightfully so.
Totally rightfully
because,
so.
Because, this performed.
Yes, it did. It's the mouthpiece. We talked about it on the episode for that week.
The mouth appliance, yeah.
The mouth appliance really accentuated her mouth movements, which is very rare for a mouth appliance, and really brought her lip sync to life. You know, and it fits in with the rest of the outfit. I mean, it's very Nina. It's big boobs, big hips. It's a leopard print, which, you know, most of the time leopard prints I'm like pretty like not super hot on, but in this case, I mean, it just makes perfect sense. I mean, how do you argue with it? The boots are fine. They're not great. They could be a little bit better shaped. They're kind of wrinkly, which I think is a detraction from the outfit.
Absolutely.
But
the cheapness of the outfit in general is a distraction.
But that's also
Nina. But that's Nina.
Yeah.
It's like the cheapness of all of her outfits detract totally from the makeup job that she did.
Yeah.
And this, I can also dovetail this into something I didn't bring up about the reunion special too. I feel like her look in the reunion special was a little bit off, and I'm really confused why she didn't wear a breastplate.
Yeah,
because that was she's been known for her breastplate. She wore the shit out of that thing.
Yeah,
and it just didn't look right without her breastplate.
True.
On that reunion look. But
True.
Like Nina's breastplate deserves like a spot in the
its own
RuPaul
episode.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Nina's breastplate. Something else I didn't notice is she did some leopard print into her shoulders too.
Yeah, she did.
Which is
she carried it
very
through.
Interesting.
This was the most realized look I think she did all season.
Yeah, I could put that on the top 10.
I mean, it is close to her. Not that one. Let's get rid of that one.
We're gonna get rid of that one.
But her peach look.
Yeah, I can't put her peach look on there. I don't think it's a fully realized look. I think it's an interesting look.
Yeah.
I think it was a good first impression for us.
It was a great first impression.
But at the same time, it's not a fully realized look.
Yeah.
Like this was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm gonna take that off the ranking. So yes, I'm gonna say Big Hair Nina's on there.
Yeah.
I'm definitely think that Charlie Hyde's princess is on there.
Totally.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that Valentina's princess is also on there.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do the gimmies right now. I'm gonna throw the gimmies up.
Okay, let's throw the gimmies
for
up.
us. Easily, Shea Coulee.
Yeah.
In the Village People look.
Boom,
Shea Coulee.
Actually, while we're doing this is a really great time to give a big shout out. Go to the Reddit page.
Oh yeah, we'll go to the Reddit page.
Give a shout out to the RuPaul's Drag Race subreddit, but also to
Leon Retta.
Leon
Retta made this really fantastic table that we've been using for this whole time. It's a bit of lifesaver.
Called the compilation, all the season 9 runway looks.
Yes, you can look at it yourself.
Yeah.
It's spectacular.
Give this girl some
wait a second,
love.
I didn't
there
do that.
It is. Bam.
Yeah, I just
some
gave
karma.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. So now that you can see what we've been doing off to the side, I'll bring up some other gimmies. I do think that Trinity's Final Four look, the gown, needs to be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
If we count the pheromone look.
Yeah.
Which I can agree with. I can agree with that. No, so Shea's got a big look.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that Trinity is like the killer of the season in terms of looks, though.
True.
Do you think that her Club Kid look, Trinity's Club Kid look, makes it on there? Is this a look of the season? Is this something we're going to look back and remember forever?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's bring up a whole bunch of other potential looks.
Okay, so what do we got?
I want to look
rapid fire.
I want to look at Eureka's princess.
Okay, yeah, because you want to. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna look at Eureka's princess.
I have a job to do.
Eureka's princess was the garbage princess with a roof trade.
It was not that one. What's the one she had the best hair lobe, as they were calling it in the reunion?
Hair loaf.
Hair loaf, is that what
they're
saying?
calling it? Hair loaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one that was a little bit more tighter. I'm trying to figure out which one it was. I didn't write it down. I'm very upset about it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Was it her white look?
It was her white look.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, I just want to throw that out there, make everyone look at Eureka for a minute, because we're going to be seeing a lot of her in the next season, because she's totally going to win. Anyway, for her hair look, like, that was it on fire for me. I love the shit out of that. I mean, it is a classic big girl look, which is actually surprising for her, because she didn't give us a lot of classic big girl looks.
Yes.
In her short time with us.
No. But I mean, Eureka did give us some looks.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Eureka, her faux fur look, and look at her naughty nighties look as well.
Yeah.
Her faux fur look was not cute, and her naughty nighties was also
not cute.
Not cute. So I mean,
no, we don't have to include her. I'm just saying we guys need a
I know you
discussion.
just want to make people look at her.
Yes.
But I cannot put Eureka on this list. I don't think that she had a chance to really. I don't think she had a chance to rock the big girl thick ass gown.
No, she didn't.
Would make somebody do that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Actually, let's look at her Gaga look just real quick. She did do a good Gaga.
She did do a good Gaga look. She did the
telephone.
She did the telephone striped Gaga look.
Yeah.
Stripes in a different orientation than she did in the finale.
Yeah.
Which I mean, she does not look flattering in this one. With in this one picture right here.
Well, that picture, she's just a bad face moment.
It's a bad face moment for her.
Unfortunately, the makeup's just not on point with that.
It's not on point. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
it's a great look. I mean, it's a great outfit on her. She looks very good in that outfit.
Her hometown look was
she wasn't supposed to look great in that.
I know, but still, I mean, we're looking at everything.
Yeah.
It's not a good time. That's not a good time. Who else do you think delivered okay, so we got to look at the top four.
Yep.
Because the top four, they are the ones who gelivered us
so you want to look at the gimmies.
Looks. Well, yeah, right? We got to fill this out, and not giving the top four their props.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is wrong, and I do think that Trinity deserves to be on here at least twice.
I think we got to talk about Peppermint's peppermint look.
I agree. I think Peppermint's peppermint look definitely deserves to be on there.
Yeah.
I think it is the most iconic of and the most remembered. When somebody talks about the Club Kid Challenge,
you're gonna think of that look.
You're gonna think of that look. That's gonna be the look that you're gonna think about.
I think
as you're doing
again for the season. I mean, for me, that Village People look from Shea is an absolute must. It is. Did you already put it up? You already put it up.
No, yeah, don't worry. That's there.
So good.
That's there.
So good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 7.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10. There's going to be 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at 3 more looks. Now, I will relent this to you. I will relent.
We're going unicorn.
Sasha Velour's unicorn.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, I might have had some major issues with it, but you know what? This is a really good picture of it. It was a different unicorn. I think it's very true to Sasha. I do think that it is a memorable look.
It is very memorable.
I would be getting in my own way if I didn't acknowledge it, even though I don't think she wore it well. And I keep saying it because she didn't wear it well.
So harsh.
Yes, I'm very harsh. I am a harsh bitch at times. Yeah. What else? I'm just gonna look at my.
Yeah, look at your list. I'm looking at my list here.
Yeah. The gown is already on there.
Yep.
Do you think Trinity's fur look deserves to be on there?
Maybe.
Does Trinity's Madonna look deserve to be on there? We didn't even put Trinity's Madonna look
in her top 3.
On her top 3. But look, this is a Madonna look right here. Her wig is not that good.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay, that just got cut.
No way, but
where are we at, guy? Where are we at with this?
I don't know. Fuck, man. So we took care of Nina, and we got Charlie on there. We got Pepper on there. I mean, I would almost say that I want that white look from Peppermint up there.
Yeah, that's surprising. That was a surprising look. I'll pop that up there. And looking at it, I'm kind of in.
It's just
I'm
excellent.
kind of into it.
I mean, again, I think out of all the looks this season, this one suffered the worst from the lighting because it was just golloped, just consumed by the purple of that stage. You can see it in the middle shot there when she's walking. It just gets totally lost.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate considering it was a fucking white challenge and they should have thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of poorly made decisions in terms of all the lighting in this look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is the weird thing about this. You know what though?
Oh, Alexis's Golden Globes look from the Gaga season, from the Gaga episode.
You think so? Because I was okay. So I think we're I think we're there. But also, I mean, there's 2 looks that I want to bring up. So Alexis's Golden Globe season, she wore a gown.
Yeah.
She killed the gown.
Oh, she fucking murdered
She looks spectacular in this.
So good.
I think this is one of the best looks of the entire season. Yeah. But also, I'm going to put this up. I think that Valentina's white look.
Oh, her white look, yeah.
Her white look was
that was her best. If she was top 4, that would have been her number 1 look, probably.
I feel like that would have been something that we couldn't argue.
Yeah.
And overlook.
Okay, where are we at?
So we got 11 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, as much as I like Farrah, I think Farrah gets the chop.
I think Farrah does get the chop. I think
she's the only one who's suffering from a bad piece in her outfit.
Yes.
Which is that weird...
She just got the chop.
Yeah.
She just got clicked off. So, in no particular order, this is like our most memorable looks of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9.
Yeah.
We have Valentina, her princess look.
Mm-hmm.
We have the princess look for Charlie Hides.
Mm.
We have the panther on the runway, or the cheetah on the runway
Big hair look.
Big hair look from Nina Bonita Brown. Mm-hmm. We have the construction worker look, which might be the look of the season.
So hot.
I think it's going to be the most iconic look that we have.
Yeah.
And we are going to remember from Shea Coulee. We have the final gown.
Yeah.
The Eleganza realness from Trinity the Tuck Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
We have the peppermint look from Peppermint from the
Club Kid
episode. We have the unicorn look from
Big
Sasha Velour from Big Gay Ball. We have the white look from Peppermint.
Yeah.
Peppermint, surprisingly, making it twice on our top 10 list.
Totally.
Which, I mean, some people... we had Eileen email us, and I'll call her out directly, saying that Peppermint is somebody who's likely not going to win, who could win, who doesn't deserve to win.
I totally disagree with this.
I don't know if I disagree. I do think I disagree.
Like 2 weeks ago, I would have been on the exact same boat, but rewatching the whole season has like totally changed my perspective on her. I think we'll talk about that more in a minute, but wow, I think she's a powerhouse.
We got Valentina's white look.
Yeah.
The blushing bride. The
story look.
The story look about her mother, and she was known as being the beautiful bride.
And
is a whole story.
And the more you get to know Valentina, the more you kind of get this feeling that her mother really means like a great deal to her.
Yes.
And I think that really plays in this moment that she had.
I do believe this is why she might have even won this whole episode too.
Oh yeah, unquestionably in my mind.
And the final look that we have is the Golden Globes look.
Yeah.
From Alexis Michelle.
It is her best look by far.
It's her best look.
I say aside from maybe her like pre-show look, like the look that she was in the car with Rue with, the look that she did her pre-interview with was also super hot, but that was not her walk-in look.
No. So now here's a difficulty. So we just went through an excruciating part of the podcast to listen to.
Yes.
To try to find 10 looks from this entire season that encompass what this entire season's about. Because I feel like there are more bad looks this season than there are good looks this season.
There were a lot of stinkers.
I do not like to be negative. I try to keep the negativity around, which is why we only have a top 3 terrible looks. But I'm gonna bring up a bunch.
You bring them up. Let's bring up all the ones we can think of.
I'm just Alice Woodside. You just keep vamping.
Okay, so we're just talking about them all, and we're gonna narrow them down. This is usually how we do the top 10, as we put in all the looks that we think should be up there, and then we narrow it down to 10. We couldn't do that this season because this season wasn't super hot. If you'll notice, actually, in the roundup there was a few key episodes where all the looks really came from. Being the princess episode, the white episode had numerous looks in it. And the gay ball had a bunch of looks in it, and so the rest of the episodes were really lacking as far as really hot looks were concerned. And I think
I'm gonna leave that one off.
That's something to really, really think about for this overall season and kind of what the overall impression of the quality level of this season was. Because I do think it wasn't a bad season, and I enjoyed myself. I think it was lacking in a few key areas. We keep saying, so we'll talk about it later. So we have to start like hurrying up here because we are taking our sweet ass time.
Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna go bottom looks, Alex. This is every bottom look that I have.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we're gonna be going through here. The first one is the hometown look from James Mansfield.
Yeah.
The weird cow look.
Yeah.
With the strange shoes. the weird wig,
strange shoes,
the makeup that's just about as good as mine.
The leggings that don't match the white in her dress.
It's not a good look.
It's not.
We're gonna try to motor through this, okay?
Right,
so that one, that's one right there. The second one that I have
is the Charlie Hides Gaga.
Charlie Hides Gaga look. The Gaga look where she's trying to be inspired by a McQueen.
Yeah.
And she just did a really bad job, and I brought this up on the episode, of cutting the eyes out. Like, the eyes just weren't... It's what kills the entire outfit. It makes it look like Charlie's not wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And because of the way that the mask blends in with the hair, the eyes even start looking crooked.
Yes.
Because the hair is controlling where the eyes are.
Well, and the shape of the eyes are so wrong that it throws the whole look.
It makes it look masculine.
Creepy. Yeah.
It makes it look masculine as opposed to feminine.
Yes, it does.
We're going to go into, I think, Sasha Velour's princess look, which I have to say is probably one of Sasha Velour's worst looks. It is not a very well-made gown. It looks like she just took just a piece of fabric and wrapped it around her with 2 stitches on each side. She had a convoluted, overly complicated story
so bad.
With the cage on her head.
Yeah.
That she inexplicably is holding some sort of intestines on her hand.
Yeah.
I just noticed that it has like a hair braid.
Yes.
I don't know. It's bad. It's not good. Even though her little princess, a fairy god creature.
Yeah, but
goblin.
his story was terrible. So
yeah, I know. It was an overly
and
complicated.
He looks great, but I mean, like, otherwise.
He looks great, but this outfit is a boot.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Disaster from Aja, which could go down as one of the worst looks, especially with how much Aja was hyping it up during the episode about how, she's a costume designer and all this stuff. This was just a total
You know what the
miss.
worst part of this for me is? That fun fur jacket is not lined.
Oh, it's just everything.
It's
no,
like,
the worst thing is,
how do you walk
chaps.
out in a fucking jacket on RuPaul's Drag Race that is made out of fun fur and you don't line it?
And it's I don't know. To me, it's these chaps. These chaps going into this panty. It's not good. We're gonna move on to Peppermint. This is her naughty 90s look. She looks like a single mom who's getting her first date after her kid became about 7 years old and was not so much of a handful that she could be given to a babysitter.
Yeah.
And now she's trying to go and look a little bit sexy for her man.
I'm going to tell you right now, you have to eliminate this look. I'm not saying it's a good look, but what I'm saying is a fully realized look. She is doing a full-on MILF, trying to get laid for the first time in about 10 years.
You know what? There's a believable story.
Yes.
I can agree with a believable story, but I will cut that look because we just gave it a believable story. Here we go. We have the faux fun fur look from Alexis Michelle. Absolutely terrible. A terrible dress, a terrible coat.
Yes.
I believe it was described as a hairy foreskin for a hat. A warrior sandal that goes to the knee for no explicable reason.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that's about.
No.
But it's just wrong. This
is the look that inspired her meltdown backstage, in which she told everyone off for letting her look so bad.
Of the entire season.
Yeah.
Then we have, again, Alexis Michelle, the club kid look, where she was trying to be different. She was trying to be fun. She was trying to show off some body yada yada. And it just wasn't the right way to do it.
No.
And again, brought us back to the Alexis Michelle conundrum.
Yes.
In that her makeup from the neck up is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
It's like so well done. The neon lip, the eye contact. Like, it's just so graphic and wonderful. The hair is graphic and wonderful.
Even the earrings are super, like,
I love
cool.
it. I love it from the neck up. But I cannot... But it's so egregious. Egregious from the neck down that it's got to be on the worst list. This is my final one. Again, man, it's like Alexis Michelle's time to shine.
Yeah.
Alexis Michelle's princess look, proving once again in RuPaul's Drag Race, if you spend all of your time working on one corset, you will end up in the bottom and maybe going home.
Yeah.
Alex Woodside, did you have anything to add onto this list?
I have at least 2.
Wait, Alex, can you switch over so that the folks at home?
Sorry, folks.
And I'll vamp a little bit here.
Vamp.
So that is my list of bottom looks. That is every bottom look that I put on there. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I was also being fair because I also put down Sasha's club kid look as a bottom look. Because that was the weird crying clown.
That's so bad.
I just didn't. Like it didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel right to me. I didn't like it. The crying clown. It had to go. It went But I chose not to put it on there because I honestly, as bad as the crying clown is, I don't think it is one of the worst looks of the entire season. The hardest thing is going to be narrowing this down, even though I think it's going to be pretty quick for us to narrow this stuff down. This is just it's been a disappointing runway.
It has been very disappointing.
Yes. Okay. So so first up on Alex Woodside's list of shame.
I think people give us like total shit for this because I think people really love this.
Whoa! I didn't realize she had a human centipede on her ear though.
It's just like it's just like
we're talking about Sasha Velour's.
Yeah.
This is her hometown look.
This is her hometown look
where she's talking about how avant-garde art.
Yeah.
Is part of her hometown, and she's holding things. She's holding things in every possible place that can hold something. I bet you she's even holding something in her ass right now.
Yeah, totally.
This is like the crowning Jughead.
Just because ultimately they're not like super terrible, but I just want to show them for a.
What do you want to show them?
I want to show them that we have to like show the Club Kid look.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It is that's not it. That's the makeover look.
Yeah, you need to know to read it. It's one over and down. There it is.
Oh, thank you.
Boom. Yes. Yes. So it's just...
it's so bad.
I just don't get it. And you see, so you look at her, she's cinched here, but she's not padded.
Yeah.
So because she's not padded, you don't get the roundness of the hip that you haven't. So it makes that
she only gets away with this because of the general concept of the episode or of the runway look.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be over the top. It's supposed to be crazy, but she's literally just giving clown.
It's literally a clown.
Like, there's nothing else.
Is what it is.
So this one, I mean, like, I'll take that one off the list. I just think it's just, I mean, whatever.
It is appalling.
This is another one.
You know what? This, okay, I might have to defend this look because I almost thought that this look was one of the best looks that Shay.
You're crazy.
I wanted to put it on there.
You're crazy.
Because the bitch went on the runway in a hot dog outfit. We're talking about Shea Coulee's hometown outfit where she dressed up with an enormous hot dog on her head, on her ears, and she had fries on her shoes. I don't know. I live for this.
I know. You know what?
I live for the outlandishness.
I will say that fine, you can defend it, and it's really tongue in cheek. But I'm going to tell you right now.
I love its outlandishness.
The reason that we did not see Shay for like the first 3 episodes of this show
might have been this.
It's this
we talked about
outfit.
This.
I know we
talked
did.
About this outfit.
We did.
But you see, I kind of loved it because it's so extra.
But it's you know what?
It's so extra.
It is so extra, and the boots are great. The boots are the best part of it
because this is the same boot that she used in the best look of the season.
It is, and they shine through. But you know what? It does not look good. Her head does not look good.
Oh,
I think it's funny.
I
but
love it.
It does not look good.
Every queen does not need to be a glamorous.
It doesn't need to be glamorous, but it doesn't look good. Her hair peeking out from the weird
is working this
shape of the headpiece. The hot dog glued onto the side of it.
Pure sass. She's giving me pure sass with a side of mustard and ketchup.
This whole one-piece top is not pretty.
Okay. You know what? This is not one of the worst looks of the entire season.
It's not.
But we'll agree to disagree.
But it needed to be talked about.
I like how extra it is.
Okay.
I like how extra it is. Yes. Okay. This is Valentina's big hair look.
Yeah.
Where she said, surprisingly, she's only wearing 4 wigs or something along those lines. I hate this look, Alice. Why do I hate this look?
It's everything about it.
No. Why do I hate this look? Tell me.
Why?
Yeah. What's the main thing that I hate about this look?
She's wearing weird
tits.
Heels. Oh, no tits. Yes,
she's got no tits, and she's not even trying to contour her chest.
Yeah,
it's very weird. And she tried to make it look a little bit more whimsical by wearing her fishnet stoned arm.
She poses with it a lot better than she walked with it. When you watch the episode, when she's walking in this outfit, it's just like, what the. Fuck?
This is her. This is her greenness.
Yeah,
like her newness to drag coming out.
Yeah.
For her, she's just wearing big hair in the wrong way.
She's just like stapling wigs onto the back of other wigs.
Yes.
And it's just like that's not how you do this.
And you see, this is also a big problem that I had.
There's like a whole wig on each shoulder.
Yeah, this is also a problem I had with Sasha Velour's makeover.
Yeah.
Which some people think that Sasha Velour should have won the makeover challenge, which I disagree with because this is what Sasha Velour and Sasha Velour's makeover challenge partner looked like.
Yeah.
It had so much big hair matted over top of the shoulders that it just ate up the face, and that's a huge thing. It doesn't frame the face; it just eats heats it up and it looks wrong.
Yeah.
But definitely, this is definitely a bad look.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah, but we haven't started eliminating here.
We have. Oh yeah, we
got eliminated down to 3.
Oh,
so this is what we're gonna do.
I was like, we need one more.
No, we're not going down to 10. So as bad as the clown look is, it's not going. As bad as the swig look is, it's still not the worst thing.
That just really points out the things that were going on this season, though.
Yeah, it does. This cow look is bad. There's nothing redeeming about it.
But you know what
it is? What can you do? How can you...
you try to... I can't redeem it, but she is such a non-factor. I have a really hard time putting her on any list.
Joe, you don't even want to give... You don't even want to give her the participation award for having the word?
That is my thought.
Okay,
so you can't eliminate it right now, but if it comes down to a hard choice, you get rid of her.
Yeah, okay. Charlie Hyde's Gaga, it's a cacophony of terrible decisions, is what that is. Sasha Velour...
It's not bad enough.
You don't think it's... I'm going to keep it on there because I do still think it's bad enough.
This is absolutely one of the worst looks of
the season. Okay, you know what, though? Yeah, I will cut Sasha Velour's look because Aja's disaster is just that.
Aja's disaster
is a disaster.
It's everything that's wrong in the way that James Mansfield also put her outfit together.
Yes.
Except for Aja's a person of consequence on this show, therefore it matters a lot more.
Okay, we're going to move on right now. I mean, this has to be up there because Alexis Michelle made it so far, and this is the antithesis of like the mom couture, the mom on the town couture that Alexis Michelle keeps bringing. We're talking about Alexis Michelle's fun fur look.
Yes.
So we're going to keep that up in the contention. Sasha, again, we're in the Sasha Velour section here.
Or the Alexis
Michelle section. Alexis Michelle's Club Kid. Alexis Michelle's Princess. I'm going to cut the Princess.
Cut the Princess because you know what?
The Village People Princess.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut the Village People.
Because you know what? That corset is to die for.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. So here's the question here. I think Alexis Michelle is going to make it. So we're down to 5 queens. We're down to 5 queens in the worst dressed look. Now I feel like Alexis Michelle's fun fur look is not bad. It's just basic.
It is super basic,
and that's the problem with it. That's why it's not going to make it on the list.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's better to be basic than bad.
Yeah.
So now we're down to 4. So I think we need to make some harsh decisions now onto who's going to stay on the list.
Oh, it's hard.
I feel like Alexis Michelle's Club Kid, because she is such a queen of consequence.
Yes.
That it must stay on here.
It is super bad.
Yes.
And it's really rough because it also works into her like whole body image storyline with the reading that really came out in the reunion show, because this is her body yaddy yaddy look, and she failed so spectacular at it. Not because her body isn't nice, which is, you know, her body's perfectly nice in this outfit or in general. She looks
just so much
it's just like the lines are so wrong, and it really is the lines, and they're so
you know what it
wrong.
Is? Okay, this is what it is. It's the contrast between the flesh and the body stocking.
Yeah.
If she had like a white bodysuit on, and then she put the body stocking over that to make more contrast, instead of it just being flesh tone, I think she might have actually been able to say something more of a statement with this.
The way that
as opposed to what's going on.
The lines in the bodysuit clash the lines in the corset is also super bad.
Oh yeah, because it's overlaying.
Yeah.
I have that exact Orchard corset too, so I know what that's about. But
it's so
again,
not good.
It's so not good. It must stay.
And then it's topped off with like the pasties over the tits, which would be fine, except for
there's nothing fine about it.
There's like eyes on her chest now.
Yes. Okay. So Alexis Michelle must stay in.
Yes.
It must stay in.
Yes.
So we got to move on now.
Yeah.
So now we're down to the Furious 3.
Yes.
The Furious 3. I feel like we have to put Charlie Hyde's on this. I feel like this Gaga look is so bad.
Yeah.
Is so poorly executed.
Here's the thing with it, right? The thing with it is based off McQueen look. And the thing about McQueen is what makes McQueen really work is he like treads this fine line between ugly and beautiful. Like his shapes are always very strange. They're always harsh,
striking, yes,
and weird and striking and almost awful. Like it's like a stinky cheese. That's what he. That's his
stinky
it
cheese.
Is. Look at his fucking shoes.
Wow.
They're just like barely. like they're just on the cusp of being awful, which is what makes them so fantastic.
But I do love a McQueen shoe because it's always covered in studs.
I'm not saying I don't love McQueen in general. I'm saying, but that's what he does, is he treads this fine line. And so when someone does a McQueen poorly, it's just
very
awful.
Bad.
You know? And I think that's what you have here.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. So I think that these two looks are definitely...
Here's the thing. There's no way you can get rid of Aja on this list.
You don't think we can get rid of...
That outfit is so bad. But the hair is bad.
But is it worse than this?
I mean, yes, it is absolutely worse than that. It is absolutely worse than James Mansfield's weird cow outfit.
But okay. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
James Mansfield brought this from home. James Mansfield, at home, before Drag Race began, went through James Mansfield's closet and stopped and said, I'm going to bring this to Drag Race, and this to Drag Race, and this to Drag Race. Whereas Aja made this in Drag Race. So she was crunched for time. You know, there's a lot of bad decisions here, but she made it herself. It's directly from her mind.
You know what? Looking at this outfit, you know what the one thing I really wish she would have done was?
What?
If she would have made her crotch piece the same fun fur as her hair and jacket.
Are you sure it's not already?
No, it's not.
It's some sort of satin.
It's really weird.
The hair, I don't know. The hair is so bad.
It's a satin fucking bikini piece.
Okay, we got to figure this out, though. We got to figure this out.
I would honestly put. I mean, if I was gonna, I mean,
do you want to cut?
I'd cut. Yeah, I'd cut.
Do you think Charlie needs to get cut?
Yeah. I think Charlie's look has more forgiving elements in it.
Does it really?
Well, ultimately,
okay, you know what? Yes.
Ultimately, from like the eyes up, that's a pretty impressive wig.
Yes, I was just about to say that. The fact that Charlie managed to pile that much hair straight up is quite impressive. Yeah. So I can say that that's impressive, whereas the hair here is not impressive.
No, it's
not impressive at all. And the hair here is not impressive.
Well, it's just a wig out of the box.
Oh my god. Okay. So oh my god. Okay, we just got to make a decision here. We're going to cut Charlie.
We're going to cut Charlie.
So our top
Charlie
three
did some good in there.
Our top 3 worst looks of the entire season 9 of Drag Race starts with Alexis Michelle's Club Kid look, which is rife with poor decision making.
We should have opened the show with this section.
No, we're bringing it up now. Bringing the energy back. Number 2 is Aja's disaster princess, which the princess thing is something we're talking about a lot.
Oh.
And it's just so...
It's also those lips. She loves drawing her lips that way.
Well, she learned since this happened. So let's not crucify the queen.
No, but it has to be brought up because it was a big problem for her.
It was, but she did learn.
Yeah.
You even saw it in the reunion special.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, pre-Aja, before Drag Race, and after Drag Race, because the lips are there. Yeah. The final look is James Mansfield. We're going to give James Mansfield a participation ribbon for doing something on the show. And that something is delivering the absolute worst cow look I've ever seen in my life. You
know what? No,
it's terrible.
The tights do match the rest of the outfit because the top end is the cow, the bottom end is the cream.
Oh my god! I thought I was going to say the top end is the cow, and then it's the 2 udders sticking out from the bottom.
Also, it just looks like cream is what. Maybe my god! Just her legs. I don't even know.
I don't even care. That's done. There's our bottom looks for the entire season, ladies and gentlemen. Go back. In a season that was full of some bad shit. That's what we got there. So, Alex, I think we've made it through. Oh, we got to talk about Rue looks. Unfortunately, we don't got... You know what? Let's make it quick. Rue had one spectacular look throughout the entire season.
Can you even find it?
We don't have a picture of it. Easy answer. Yeah. The best Rue look.
Yeah.
It's between 2 looks.
Yeah.
One is the Chinese character dress.
Yes.
That is quintessential, fantastic RuPaul outfit from top to bottom. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is from one of the last episodes. It was the promo dress that RuPaul wore, which was like the geometric spikes. The fabric spikes that came out.
It was like her as a star.
Yes. I believe that those are the 2 best RuPaul looks.
Yeah, it was her.
Bar none.
It was episode 12. So the episode.
It was like the final 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Those were the best RuPaul looks of the entire season.
Yeah.
Bar none. I don't even have anything else to say about that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let's
we're gonna move on.
Power through some facts. You want to power through some power rankings?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's go. So throughout our entire season, we do power rankings. Do we have other things to talk about?
We have to talk about lip sync, man.
Okay, let's talk about lip sync first before we get into because stats really moves really well into talking about who we want to win and stuff.
Okay, fine.
So let's stick with the way that we have it down here. So we're going to talk about lip syncs.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this right now. We were going to talk about challenges. Let's just say once and for all, the worst challenge of the season was 90210.
Do you think that was the worst challenge of the season?
It was awful. It was not funny.
I wouldn't say it was the worst challenge of the season.
It was fucking terrible.
The best challenge of the season,
yes,
bar none,
yes,
is the Princess Challenge.
Yes.
It is the conceptually the absolute best designed, described construction challenge from top to bottom that tells a story that has ever been on Drag Race in 9 seasons. Yeah. I feel like it is something that I even want to see come back next season because it's just such a good idea and stretches the queens in so many different ways that it's something that I wouldn't be mad if they brought it back. That's it.
Then the second best I would say was Kardashian the musical. I'm not a huge Kardashian fan, but that was one of the best musical numbers that the writers of RuPaul's Drag Race has ever done.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
I could totally agree with that.
Okay, so I think that's all we really need to say about the challenges. We don't need to go too deep into them. So let's talk about the lip syncs.
Yeah, challenges. I just had Princess with 5 exclamation points behind it.
Yeah,
it's just so good. And yeah, I mean, I didn't give this season enough credit for how many construction challenges it had right off the top. So let's talk about the best lip syncs, because I also think that while we were really disappointed on the runway with what we had, I was also kind of disappointed with our lip syncs this season.
Yeah,
I don't think that we had many spectacularly great lip syncs.
No.
But I mean, I did write down a bunch of things that I did notice about the lip syncs as we were going through. So a big problem that we had with the season in general was how the season tended to downplay the big moments. And it seems like that was a decision that started to be made as the season went on, because early on we had a lip sync between Aja and Kimura, where Aja did a jumping split and got the explosion sound.
Yes,
that was the first and last time that we had a big explosion sound happen during a lip sync as we were watching this show. And I think that's something to really know. And despite the fact that I do think that Aja and Kimura were more doing their own thing as opposed to following the song, it was one of the best and most high energy lip syncs of the entire season.
It was good.
Both queens wanted it, and you can feel it in that. And I think that that speaks for a lot given what we've had to deal with.
Also, the song was great for it. It was Bonnie Tyler's "I Need a Hero."
It was, which I have a really hard time listening to because I was in a lip sync battle against somebody that I lost to that very song. So it hits me right here. I do think another fantastic lip sync was Peppermint versus the Cuckoo, Cynthia Fontaine.
Totally great.
A fantastic lip sync to the Madonna song.
Peppermint is such a good lip syncer.
Yes, Peppermint is the queen of the diss lip sync.
Oh, yes.
And
in the Cynthia one is when she does
shotgun.
The shotgun.
Ba-bam, the shotgun. She does that in that. But she also does a diss in another lip sync that she does, which is Peppermint versus Alexis.
Yes.
She does a diss in that one as well.
Yeah.
Peppermint versus Alexis was also a very fantastic lip sync, but I don't think it was as good as the Peppermint versus Cynthia Lee Fontaine lip sync.
Totally hot lip syncs.
Yes.
Another totally hot lip sync was Nina versus Aja. That was Nina in, I do believe it was her big cat outfit. So that's the one when she, which was totally fantastic. I wouldn't say maybe the best, but totally noteworthy because Nina is a fantastic lip syncer, like totally fantastic lip syncer. I would absolutely love to see her perform, just to see her do a lip sync. Just totally really fantastic stuff. Yeah,
I do think that the Farrah and Alexis lip sync in episode 8 was also of note to me as well. Those are some lip syncs that are really coming up, but I do think that I think that more than anything, people are going to remember the bad lip syncs of the season more than the good lip syncs.
Let's pick our favorite. Let's pick our favorite lip sync. What we're going to put forward. So we have Peppermint versus Cynthia, which I think has to be up there as perhaps the best. I think it's definitely better than the Aja Kimura Black, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say the only one that really comes close to me would be Nina versus Aja. because that was when Nina was still there. She was still fighting, and Aja was still fighting, but not quite as hard as Nina was at that point. Because maybe Aja was a little worn out by that point. So it wasn't as strong from her, but it was very strong from Nina. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Peppermint and Cynthia for the win. I had the most fun during that. That shotgun moment was like my
I agree.
Whoa moment for the season and the lip syncs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with that being the lip sync of the season because that was also the moment of the season, and that was the point in time where I think a lot of people had sold Peppermint out.
Yeah,
like Peppermint at that point in time
definitely had.
We did too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're not. We don't have a problem with this. We didn't have a thing, but people were selling Peppermint short at this point.
Yeah.
In the entire season, and she just kind of came through at that point. Did. And that was something really big. So I think that's the lip sync of the season. But let's talk about the lip syncs.
The two big lip syncs that will be absolutely remembered.
Yes. So it is the high energy versus broken rib lip sync.
Yes.
That is the Alexis, the Trinity Taylor versus Charlie Hyde's lip sync. Yeah. And the infamous Valentina lip sync.
Valentina versus Nina, where Valentina did not know the words.
No. So I have to say that now both of these lip syncs are going to be remembered in Drag Race, but I do think that one lip sync is going to eclipse both.
Yes.
And that lip sync that's going to eclipse it is definitely going to be the Valentina lip sync.
100%.
Because it was such a moment.
Yeah.
It was such a story moment. It was such a shock.
Yes.
To everybody in there.
Yeah.
Everybody saw Valentina as a front runner, as a huge
also,
threat.
At this point,
a lot of things.
It was Nina's like third time
in the bottom.
And it was just like it was Valentina's to lose. I mean, like basically Valentina, all she had to do was show up and perform, and it would have been hers.
Absolutely.
Because everyone on the judging panel, including Ruben, like, okay, Nina's been in this position too many times.
Yep.
She'll have to like be a complete and utter murderer of Valentina in order to stay. And of course she was, but that's because Valentina basically turned over and just let her stab her all over with that sickening Red Skull makeup she had going on.
And it sucks because if Valentina would have stayed that show, like would have won that lip sync, it would have been so much better.
Yeah, for show.
Nina.
And for Nina, oh god.
Because Nina wouldn't have outstayed her welcome at that point in time.
Yeah.
I don't think as many people would have turned on Nina.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things about that just made it, right? Like that should have been when Nina left.
I think Nina's energy
Valentina
was spent by
so
that
bad.
point too, right? And so I think Nina would have been a happier person having left
Absolutely. So that's lip syncs.
Yep.
That's lip syncs. Let's move on.
Let us move on. Basically, we've gone through. We're talking about boiling points.
So the boiling point of the season, that's like the explosion when emotions start getting so high. The pop-offs of the season. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about boiling point. And there's a couple boiling points that we really have to highlight. Alex, so go.
So number one was Alexis Michelle's backstage untucked breakdown on the Fun Fur episode in which she called the entire cast around her to listen to her berate them for her
mistakes.
Looking so bad.
Yes. And it was like after watching the RuPaul Drives, it was like exactly what she said might happen with her.
Yeah.
To a T.
Yeah.
It set the tone for how she was going to react to everybody from that point forward.
Mm-hmm.
It also set the tone for how all the queens were going to talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was the storyline setter for Alexis Michelle. And I do think it was also the nail in the coffin for Alexis Michelle as well.
Mm. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Agree with you. So that was the big one. Obviously, we just discussed the other big one, which is the boiling point of Valentina on the runway, not taking off her mouthpiece for the lip sync.
Yes. That was an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
But I think a huge boiling point and a boiling point of the entire season belongs to one Aja when she had her boiling point in the back that was so explosive. It spawned a dance club hit. That's what it was. The diss track of all diss tracks.
Yes.
That is, I believe, the boiling point of the season. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how we can disagree. 3, if you can believe that.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
And and the reason why I do think it was a boiling point of the season, like she came to a boil and then she calmed right the fuck down after that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Yeah.
That was like her moment. She calmed right the fuck down after that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad that she did, because again, even as we were watching through everything, we came to like her near the end of the season.
Totally. Even more in the reunion. I love her now.
But it was not her time.
It was not her time
to be in the show.
Too soon.
Too soon. Not ready. She was not. I don't think she was mentally ready. I don't think she was prepared to be in the show.
I don't think she had her skills down yet.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think she had a lot to learn, and she's learning a lot more. And she might be a fantastic addition to an All Stars.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about power rankings.
Okay, Alex Woodside, you did the stats. You did the mathematics on the stats. Yeah. I have not seen these mathematics. Yeah. So tell me all about what we said and how we ranked people. So did you give a point system? How did you do this?
I gave a point system. So I'm assuming if you're listening this far, you understand what the power rankings are. If not, go back and listen to another episode. So because the most slots we ever gave for power rankings was early on was 5. So I based it on a 5-point system. Number 1 was always 5 points going out through the whole system,
regardless of how many people were there.
Correct. And then going down 4, 3, and then 2 and 1, depending on how many it was. If we only had 3, the lowest score was 3.
Yes.
Right.
Because you get points for staying for you staying through.
Yes.
For being there.
Yeah. And it makes a lot more sense, and I think that was a better number. I did it another way before, and it didn't make as much sense as this does.
So you did it twice?
Maybe. So I'm going to give you the list, all right? This is the top 10.
Okay.
All right? Number 1, Shay. Number 2, Trinity tied with Valentina.
Tied?
Yes. Number 3, Alexis. Number 4, Eureka. Number 5, Nina.
Yeah.
Number 6, Peppermint, finally. Number 7, Aja. Number 8, Charlie. Number 9, Cynthia. And 10, Sasha. Now, I'm going to tell you their scores. All right?
Okay.
Because there's a lot. This is where the story really is.
I'm here.
Okay. So Shay scoring the highest
with
22. All right.
Yes.
Basically, Shay was never. She was either not on the list or she was first or second.
Gotcha.
In the power rankings, right? Trinity and Valentina, both I think were on the most. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. Actually, the same with Shay, which is why she was so much higher than the rest of them. And they were tied with 18 each. Both with kind of like a smattering of first, second, and thirds. Yeah, exactly. Alexis, who we were really backing very hard for early portion of the season, was only on it 3 times, but 2 of those times she was number 1 on the basis of her backroom shenanigans.
Yes.
Which brought her 13 points. All right, so now you can see there's a huge dip. There's a huge dip between 1 and 2, which is 22 to 18, and then 18 to 13 with the third place. All right, 4, you're 12. She was on a lot. She was on 4 times. So that's 1 less than our frontrunners, which I'm telling you tells me that if she had stuck around, she would have been absolutely there all the way basically to the end, unless something went really wrong.
We don't know about the big girl curse though.
We don't know about the big curse.
Is a big girl curse does not rear its head until late
in the game,
mid to late season.
It's true.
So we can't.
So further down the list, we got Nina at number 5, and Nina had a score of 10, and she was on the list 3 times. And then we have Peppermint, who we really, really missed the boat on. She was only on it twice. Maybe that's fair. I don't know.
It was fair.
But I'm going to point this out. This is an interesting fact. All right?
Yes.
She basically is the latest appearance on the power rankings of anyone that is listed other than one other queen that we have to talk about.
The latest? Like the
She
deepest?
shows up, the deepest into the season.
Okay.
So she doesn't get ranked on the power rankings until episode 8.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Deep in it. And it's not so far off for Shay, who we also fucked up on. She still ended up on top, but we didn't rank her until episode 5, if you can believe that.
Okay.
So going down, I mean, then we have, Aja and Charlie. I mean, people who don't really matter so much anymore. And then 10 with Sasha. Sasha's score is actually 0.
Yes, because we never felt that Sasha at any point in time wielded any power in the back room.
No, that's true. And by our reading of the show, that's quite accurate, I think. But it does throw a big skew into the weight of these power rankings. I think we made a lot of mistakes this year. I mean, I don't know about mistakes.
I would not say mistakes are the right way to put it.
No.
I don't feel like we made mistakes. What I do feel like is I do feel like it was definitely a less competitive.
Yeah.
And the workroom, the power in the workroom, unlike most other seasons, was it wasn't seized upon.
It was less of a factor, and it was
much less of a factor.
But also, the show spent a lot less time in the workroom.
Yes, which made it a lot harder to try to see the impact of a lot of these things, because I do think that this season did a lot of that weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so those are kind of the facts. But I think it is very significant, and where I do think we did make some errors is that even though Shay's at the top of this list, we don't rank her until basically almost halfway through the season. And Peppermint, also finishing number 4, we don't rank her until like almost 3/4 of the way through the season.
But I will honestly say, though, that as the season goes on, Peppermint was the one who looked like they needed to go.
I mean, but I think we're wrong about that, because we keep going back and looking at her looks, and she had all these stellar looks coming out, and she did have problems, and she was on the bottom numerous times.
Yes.
But I mean, what I'm saying is that...
but I'm going to say this, though. Yeah. I think that Peppermint's early season, I think that the early season paints the picture for how everybody feels about the queens all the way through. So if you didn't like a queen, or you liked a queen by about episode 4 or 5, or they were delivering something by about episode 4 or 5, that no matter what happens, I think the best case scenario is that if there's a queen you don't like, you might like them a little bit more by the end of the season. I think that is the best case scenario because of how first impressions work, because first impressions mean a lot of stuff. And Peppermint's first impression was so weak. And I mean, we're focusing on Peppermint's great looks.
Yeah.
Like, I would even say that Peppermint's crew makeover was not that great either.
No.
Peppermint should have been, could have arguably been eliminated.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
Peppermint's crew member just wasn't such a force of personality.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I do think that we're pretty right about Peppermint. And I do think that Peppermint also looks really shiny coming off of the very last challenge, because it's a challenge that is tailor-made for Peppermint.
But what I'm saying is that we didn't pick up on her strengths earlier on in the season when she was really showing them. And that was the same thing with Shay. We really didn't pick up on it. And
we started picking up on Shay's weakness, on Shay's strengths, like episode 4.
Yeah.
Is whenever we really started doing it. And I mean, this is a really strange season of Drag Race, because it's structured unlike any other season of Drag Race, and there's a couple questions I have about the season as a whole that I need to ask, and I'm gonna wait until we get through the power rankings and we get through a couple other things.
No, ask your questions. I think now's the time.
Since now's the time, this is my question.
Okay.
How much is too much? Because do you think that this season of Drag Race was too long?
I think this episode is probably too long.
Yeah, who cares? This episode is going to be as long as it is. People are going to listen to it in like 2 or 3 chunks.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll get through it by the time the finale happens.
Yeah.
But is this series of Drag Race too long? Like, is 12 episodes too many episodes to have inside a studio? Because you got to remember, the very first episode was a nothing episode. Nobody got eliminated. Yeah. Everybody stayed in the episode. But we really
like that, and I still really like that.
The very last episode was also a nothing episode.
That we did not like.
Nobody got eliminated.
And it really pissed me off.
So those 2 episodes right there are semi-nothing episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm even looking at our download numbers. And our download numbers, by around, I'm going to say, the last 2 episodes of our podcast, maybe even the last 3 episodes of our podcast, have had a sharp decline in the amount of downloads. And I do think that the 11 and 12 episodes, especially after the filming happened of the finale, I do think that the interest has dropped in the show quite a bit, and that I feel like there wasn't enough drama in this season.
There definitely wasn't enough drama until
going this long.
This reunion episode.
Well, this reunion was that breath of fresh air that we wanted from it. But we've had an episode. We've had since what do you want to say? Club Kid or Crew Makeover? Episode 10?
Yeah.
It's been samesies since that point?
Yeah, basically.
We're looking at episode 3. It's just...
Well, there was no storylines to unravel anymore because no one was in conflict.
Nobody was in conflict yet. It was
just the Nina thing, but the Nina thing had played itself out. And she was kind of unwelcome at that point. Yeah, totally.
It was there was so much that was overexposed.
Yeah.
And the season didn't seem to take as much. It didn't revel in its camp. Which I think that also might be a network decision that happened.
Maybe.
Is that because a network would get notes and those notes would be taken very seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think you're wrong about that. I mean, I still love the way they did that first episode. I thought it was the best way to do the first episode.
I think it was very uplifting. I think because you had such a big star on the episode, it would be difficult to eliminate somebody on there.
I just don't think it's necessary.
I think it's a smart way to get around having an hour and a half opening episode.
Yeah.
And I also think that it's a smart way to get over having an hour and a half finale by breaking the finale up into being a reunion first and then the finale show second. I do think that these are both very smart decisions by the showrunners of the show in order to make sure that everything stays within that 45 to 47 minute time limit that you have on network television so that you can keep repeating them without having to have sort of weird marathon nights or having to cut some corners and making a little bit of a harsher edit on an episode. But I do feel like the season might be just a hair too long.
I don't think you're wrong, because I do think the last episode was kind of totally useless. I mean, but again, that's their decision to stick with top 4 instead of top 3, which is baffling to me.
Well, I mean, it's baffling at the moment. Maybe it'll make sense whenever we see how the finale episode is worked out. But even then, they're going to have to really wow me with the finale episode. They're going to have to give me a lot of entertainment for my buck, or my time, rather. When that finale episode comes out, to really justify having the 3 queens there, and knowing that finale episode, it shouldn't have any of that reunion stuff. It should be, you have the returning queens come out, they get a moment to walk down the runway, people clap for them, and then we get right into the entertainment. That's what I need from our finale episode next week. I don't want to see a lot of talking heads. I want to see pure entertainment. I want to see a stage show from beginning to end.
Yeah,
we got the drama last week.
Yeah,
this week. Yeah. We got the drama this week. Next week's about the talent and the winner.
Yep.
Period.
Totally, I agree. So let's talk about who's the winner. It's tough now. Because,
to me, I am firmly Team Trinity.
Yes.
I am firmly Team Trinity, the Tuck Taylor. I'm there. I want to see Trinity win. I think she deserves to win. I think she's been a strong competitor. I think she played the game the entire time. I think that she wants to win constantly. I think she delivered the most on the runway. I think she's shown the most versatility of all the challenges. I feel like she'll wear the crown well. Yeah, I think that Trinity is the winner. I think she's the deserving winner of the entire season. Now, do I think that there could be surprises? Of course. I do think that there's always a chance for a surprise.
Yeah.
I do think that we could get into a situation where Peppermint could be the winner. And for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
One, if it's coming down to a lip sync and an extravaganza challenge, we've seen that in the last episode, Peppermint knows how to turn that out.
Yeah.
2, Peppermint is visibly in the middle of transition at the moment.
Yes.
And I do think that Peppermint winning, being visibly in the middle of transition at this moment, given the political climate of the world, I do think that is a strong statement. And I do think that, and I wouldn't put it against the show to try to make that strong statement with having a transgender woman become the winner of Drag Race.
I totally agree.
Now, do I think that is a legit reason to give somebody the win? Not entirely, but I do think that PR is definitely a factor.
This is what I think. I think, for me, it is between Shay and Peppermint. I don't think Trinity's going to get it for the simple reason that I don't think that she has the fan momentum behind her. And I think that is a factor. It's not the deciding factor, but of the four of them, I think she has the least fan support behind her. Trinity. I think Sasha has a more vocal fan base. I think Peppermint has a much more vocal fan base, and I think Shay has this overall feeling of being the front runner.
You see, but this is the weird thing about that front runner feeling.
Yeah,
it's people get the front runner feeling, but they're like, "Oh, I think that Shea Coulee is going to win this."
Yeah.
And they're not excited about it, but they just think that, oh, you know what, Shay is clearly the winner.
But this isn't what I think. I think you're in a minority of people who say, I think maybe Shay would win, but I think Trinity would be a more appropriate winner. Whereas I think most people are saying, I think Shay's going to win, but I think either Peppermint or Sasha is the most appropriate winner for the season. That's what I think is going on right now. And as a result of that, I don't think Sasha's going to win. It doesn't feel like a good fit for me. I don't think it's a choice that they really want to go with. I don't think she's going to bring a lot.
I agree. I don't think that Sasha's going to win this. Yeah. I think that overall, I think that Sasha is the queen.
Yeah.
I think that Sasha is the queen that has the least amount.
Totally. I think that there is
work.
A very, very good shot though that Peppermint wins. And I think it will be partly the fan vote. I think it will be partly what the symbolism of having her win. And I also think it is because, yes, of her performance that will be this week, which will hopefully be phenomenal, but also because she did bring a lot this season. And she did have a few missteps, and maybe Shay did not have those missteps. But I think for me, I mean, other than the one look that Shay really brought, there was way more going on for me with Peppermint in retrospect. And I actually like Peppermint quite a bit more than Shay after watching this whole series again.
But then the question becomes, how many people are like us and have rewatched the season? Because most people, they watch it once and then they throw it away.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I mean, like me and you, we're like slow to the bandwagon. Maybe like a lot of people were slow to the bandwagon of Peppermint, but I think there was a substantial people behind her right from the get-go. And the same thing with Shay, and we were really out to lunch on that, right? So I think a lot of people were there from the get-go that we weren't.
I would not say that we were totally out to lunch on Shay. I just think that we were an episode behind on Shay.
Yeah.
And I do think that a lot of it has to do with us making a call at episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
And in this series, because episode 1 feels more like a continuation for episode 2, that it's episode 4 of this season that is really kind of the point that episode 3s of previous seasons get to.
Maybe so.
Now, that's me giving a lot of stuff here. I'm going to read directly from an email that we got from Eileen.
Okay.
So this is from Eileen from Long Island, one of our longtime favorite listeners. What's going on, Eileen? I feel like the winner has to be either Shay or Trinity because they have both had the most wins by far. Sasha only had 2, and they were both paired with Miss Coulee, and Peppermint had 1.
Correct.
I think.
She did.
So, I don't see how the crown, the RuPaul's Drag Race crown, not the felt jughead nonsense that Sasha likes to sport, I don't see how the crown goes to either Peppermint or to Sasha. But I have to wonder if the finale battle royal was a device to give Peppermint a fighting chance. Who should win, Shay or Trinity? Kind of sort of want to give the win, even though she really doesn't deserve it. Peppermint. I do feel like these 2 little paragraphs that I put out here, I think that is the prevailing fan feeling going into the finale.
But I think that's accurate, and that's why I think Peppermint is going to win. Ultimately, I think that's what's going to happen.
Do you think that people are going to be happy with a Peppermint win? Or do you think that people won't be happy with a Peppermint win, but they're going to be too afraid to say something about it?
This is what I think is going to happen, all right? It really is. I think it will depend on whatever that performance is. And I think Ru will take that into consideration because if Shay slays or if Trinity slays and Peppermint does not, then she can't give it to them.
She can't.
Because it'll be just such a total...
I agree.
There will be a backlash.
That's the wild card.
Peppermint slays, I think there's no question she gets it, and I think there will be a minimal backlash to it. I think there will be some, and there will be people who question it, but I don't think there'll be much of an impetus to question it very hard.
I do feel like that a Peppermint win is a headline grabber.
Yes.
More than anything else. I think Peppermint winning is a headline grabber.
Totally.
And I do think it's going to be very good PR for the show.
I honestly, though, also looking at it and kind of like seeing Peppermint throughout the season again and watching, like, her interview with Ru in the car and that kind of material, I think Peppermint would be a very good Drag Race superstar.
I absolutely think that she will wear the crown well.
I think she might wear it the best.
I wouldn't say that she'd wear it the best. I still think that Bianca Del Rio wears it the best.
Well, I mean the best out of our top 4.
Oh, out of the top 4 of the season,
yes.
You think that you think that she has something like truly to stand for?
I think she has something truly to stand for. I think it will do the most for her career because you got to remember that she does have a career outside of the drag world, right? She does, act and do all those things, and she's been out there for a very long time.
She did talk about being a hooker on
yeah.
CSI New York or something.
So I think she could do a lot with it, and it would be very good for her career, and she would get a lot of visibility out of it, which she would be able to capitalize on quite well. Whereas the other queens, I don't really see what they're going to do. Like, what is Shea really going to do with the crown? What is Trinity really going to do with the crown, other than wear it like a pageant queen wears it? Sasha, would try to do something with it, but I don't think Sasha needs it to do what she's going to do. I think the exposure is what Sasha needed, and she has it.
I think Sasha will do what she needs to do despite the crown.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The exposure is what Sasha needed, and she got it, right? Whereas the crown is something that I think Peppermint can really use and work with.
So did you just convince yourself on something new? Did you convince yourself?
I've been convinced of this since yesterday.
That you were Team Peppermint?
Yes.
You were officially Team Peppermint.
I am.
Because the discussion that we had, like whenever we were finishing the podcast, was that we were going to be in opposition. You were going to be Team Shea.
Yeah.
I was going to be Team Trinity.
Yeah. And I'm not Team Shea.
You're not Team Shea.
I am not Team Shea.
No.
I don't really want Shea to win.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I like Shea. I think
you like Shea.
No, I like Shea.
The crown will be too heavy for Shea.
I think she performed well.
Yes.
Throughout the season, but ultimately, other than being like a well-rounded performer, I don't think she brings very much else to the game, and that was really evidenced to me by going back and kind of looking at kind of what she brought throughout the season. And she brought numerous points of high-quality stage performance. In like the rap challenge, she was great. In the singing, like the Kardashian challenge, she was great.
Yes.
She had a lot of great moments, but none of them really. She didn't do anything that really made me live at the end of the day. And because she sets the highest bar of the season, but it doesn't blow me over. And I think that is kind of what you need. Whereas looking back, kind of having overlooked Peppermint, she blew me over numerous times with her looks, and with her grace and with her style. And then in that interview with Rue, which I finally watched, I was all like, oh, this girl can talk. She can have like a really interesting conversation with someone. Well, she's
a legend. She's a legit legend.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it was downplayed a lot. I think it was brought up, but it was downplayed a lot that she is a legit legend.
Yeah. It was only really brought up in the Untux and then a little bit in the Club Kid episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're Team Peppermint.
I'm Team Peppermint.
I got to stick with my guns. I'm going to stay with Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
My reasoning for staying with Trinity is that I feel like Trinity never had a point where she was never weak during the entire season. Now, she might have lip-synced.
She did.
And if we were going by the lip-sync statistic, then Sasha Velour would be the winner because Sasha Velour had never been in the bottom and had never lip-synced.
Yeah.
Or I don't think she's probably... was she ever in the bottom?
No.
Well, she's been the safest queen of everything.
Yeah.
And she's even managed to win. But I feel like Trinity represents what the competition is, what exemplary status in the competition is,
mm-hmm.
what a competitor in this show should be about.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that's why Trinity, I do believe, should win this whole season, although I do think that Peppermint is definitely the winner that the world needs. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense to me.
Because I think that there is a much larger statement
mm-hmm.
with Peppermint as the winner in the political climate that America is in at the moment.
Yep.
Than Trinity, who would just wear it like a pageant queen.
Yep.
So all in all, I think that when I'm sitting down and I'm watching the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race,
mm-hmm.
that there is one thing that is going to make me sad.
What's that?
If Sasha Velour wins. And if anybody else wins, I don't think that I'm really going to be
upset about it.
I don't think I'm going to be upset if I see Peppermint win.
Yep.
Now that I've actually sat back and I've reevaluated where she's at.
Yep.
And now she's definitely had the most rocky road out of every one of the top 4, though.
Totally.
Most ups and downs, but I do think that she will wear the crown well.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that Shay is a deserving winner, but I do think that the rivalry, which is the rivalry of the season, the Cold War rivalry between Shay and Trinity the Tuck Taylor is the big story of the season, is the driving story of the season. I mean, I think it's a coin flip. I think that Trinity edges out Shay just a slight bit in terms of a quality of the looks and quality of that feeling. Whereas I think that Shay wins huge on personality. And I think it's the cult of personality on Shay that really is what makes her a fan favorite and a fan love.
I agree.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else to cover?
No, I think we covered it all.
We covered it all. So there's one last stat.
Oh, right.
This is our personal stat that we have to say. Now,
we're going to add 3 to the end of this.
We are going to basically add 3 hours to the end of this whole thing. So, this is the end of the podcast. So thank you guys very much for listening to our entire season 9 of this crazy podcast that we have. This is not our last podcast. We have one more coming up next week. And we're still trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do with that. I don't think we're going to live stream.
There's no way.
I don't think there's any way that we're going to be able to make that happen. And I don't think it's going to be exciting. I think that next week, the best thing that we can do, Alex Woodside, is do what we always do.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a bar with some microphones. And we're going to record the live bar with the microphones. That's what's going to happen next week. So join us next week for just a lot of fun, some crowd reactions, and a heckin' good time. A heckin' good time next week.
Oh, yes.
We have officially clocked in 12 episodes from preseason. No, 13 episodes from preseason to episode 12. We have clocked in 17 hours, 35 minutes, and 39 seconds of RuPaul's Drag Race talk. Now, we're getting around the 3-hour mark on this. So we're at 17, 18. We are at 20 hours, 35 minutes, and 39 seconds. We will be 20 hours of pure talk on season 9. I demand, you cannot find a group of people who are more passionate about this show and willing to talk about it longer than we are. So whether or not you like our long form stuff or you think we should edit our shit out, hey, that's the deal. That's the tea. 20 hours of talk on Sissy That Talk.
We'll do more wrap-up talk next week. That'll be a more appropriate time as to kind of our overall thoughts of our own show this season. I have some thoughts. I'm sure you have some thoughts.
Of our own show?
Of our own show. And
self-reflection?
Self-reflection and how we're going to move forward with herstory and kind of those kind of discussions.
We'll also get a lot of that in herstory. I think that in our next episode, we'll also announce whenever we plan to have the first herstory out.
Yeah.
I think we could sit down and do that.
Yeah.
Herstory is going to be very similar to this sort of conversation that we had now.
I think it'll be a little bit more well thought out, though.
Yes. As it goes on, it will be a bit more I think we had a good framework. It just fell off the rails a couple times. But anyway.
We have a couple things to work on. I think we can get this show down by at least an hour.
Well, I think we're just going to break it up into 2 shows.
Maybe. We have lots to discuss.
Okay, we got lots to discuss about that. We're talking about another show before we finish this show. What I'm saying is, during the postseason, we will be back. Before season 10 begins, you're going to hear more from us. And I can make an announcement right now, too.
Having a baby?
Yes, I'm pregnant. I do believe that I'm going to be at RuPaul's DragCon.
Ooh.
As it stands right now, I'm putting it out there into the world.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be at RuPaul's DragCon on Saturday and Sunday of the con, the 9th and 10th. I'm planning to make a pilgrimage to New York City for this. So if any of you listeners are out there and you guys are in the New York area planning to go to DragCon, hit me up with the email. I'd love to meet some people. And if you're just looking for me on the con floor, I have a plan to have something with my face plastered on it really huge in the back, so you'll know what's up with me. Let's take this whole boat down onto the end of our podcast. You need to hear more about this podcast. Go to Facebook, Velvet Valhalla Podcast and Events. There you can find out more information on when Herstory is going to begin, when Herstory releases, and my live streams and any other sort of live events that I'm a part of, a host to, akin to, any of that stuff. So that's Velvet Valhalla Podcast and Events. Follow me on Twitter, Velvet_Valhalla. I try to update that with as much stuff, information as I possibly can as to when and where I am at DragCon. I'm probably going to use that as sort of the hub if anybody's really looking for me. Our email, velvetvalhalla@gmail.com, that is our primary contact for people to get back. So if you made it all the way through this podcast from minute 1 to the end, send us an email and just say, I climbed the mountain. And I will send you an email back thanking you profusely for climbing the mountain.
Yes.
And if you've enjoyed our entire season of Sissy That Talk, you can also help support Sissy That Talk. We have a donation link on the website, www.velvetvalhalla.com, where you can find our blog posts containing all previous seasons of Sissy That Talk and episodes of Sissy That Talk, including Season 9, Season 8, and Season 7, and soon to be the Herstory podcast betwixt our, Season 9 and Season 10 coverage.
That's right.
So, Alex, overall, let's give one last thought.
Okay.
Season 9.
Mm-hmm.
What are your final thoughts on Season
9? Drag Race is always a wild ride, and you never know quite what to expect.
Okay.
I think we have come to expect a certain level of drama and negativity, and we didn't get that.
No.
And I think that is something interesting that I want to get into a little bit more next week a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Because I think it's interesting. We talked about it a little bit this week. So I think that's surprising. And I think this year, more than most years, we really we missed a lot, And I think I'm really looking forward to Herstory as a chance to dig in and kind of reassess the way we look at the show, and going into next season to have a new set of eyes for Drag Race.
Yeah, I think Herstory is going to be, at this point in time, like we were saying before, that Drag Race has been going on so long that it started to build its own contestants.
Yeah.
And I do think that now, looking back at Herstory and looking back at the previous seasons, it's going to speak a lot about where Drag Race is now, and give us a new set of eyes on how we look at the show. I still think that in our season 10 coverage, it's going to be very similar. I still think we're going to keep our big touchstones.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, not so much in the way we frame our show, but in how we look at the contestants and what's going on in the show. I think that's what needs a brush up. I think we need to brush up. On how we are seeing what we're perceiving from the queens from the get-go.
I do think that we were. This was a weird season. This was a really weird season. I think that much like the Bianca Del Rio season was a transitional season for the show.
Yeah, totally.
I do think that we are looking at another transitional season for Drag Race, and I do think that if the show's smart, Season 10 of Drag Race is going to be something very special and very spectacular.
I agree.
Because it's a 10th season. It's not often you hit those landmarks.
Yeah.
It's a huge landmark. I'm expecting some huge, big, explosive things on Season 10, much like the pageantry that was the first 100 queens.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that sort of... gallantry, you know what I'm saying.
Now we're going to have Eureka, so we know it's going to be a big season.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we know we have one big queen. We know we have one big queen coming in. So that's our podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to Sissy That Talk. And Alex Woodside, I'm going to let you close it out.
Hi, TIFF Live. I see you out there.
Alex Woodside, close the podcast.
I'm gonna close it right now.
Okay.
How do I do? Oh, right. Soft.
Bam. There we go. So TIFF Live is in the chat.
Apparently.
Do you know who TIFF Live is? Who's TIFF Live?
It could potentially be Aaron. It could be Aaron? Ron at work.
Is Aaron a man or
Miles? Maybe, I don't know.
Miles?
Yeah.
Name yourself, TIFF Live. The podcast is now off.
Yeah.
We're now
we're
now into the post.
Behind, right? So
we're the post show. Are they 8 seconds behind?
I think so. They should be.
Okay. Well, let's see. Wait. Let me just check to make sure TIFF Live is still here. They just didn't. log in to say beard, and then to yep, Tiff Live is still here. Beards.
There's no beard here.
No, I'm well shaven.
Oh, maybe it's Eric Kruka.
Beards, Eric. Okay, who are these people?
They're just the TIFF people at work. They leave the TIFF Live signed into our computers all the time, so it could really be anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Could be anybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know who that could be then. Yeah. Name yourself.
Yeah, you guys should take our episode and then stream it out on the TIFF Live branded YouTube channel.
Good idea. Because you know what? We're a wholesome, and it's Pride Month. Yeah. We're a wholesome LGBT podcast.
Yes. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
That's what we are. So this is what's going on with the troll?
I don't know.
We got a TIFF Live troll. This is the weirdest. This is the strangest
Bear
troll.
D.
No, that's like beard, but bared. This is these people are crazy.
They came on this train too late.
They did definitely come on the train too late.
Because I had no energy left for this.
Well, are you still? Did you stop the record?
No. Yes, I did.
Okay, what is it? What is the final tally like on the actual tally? Let me just try to get. Okay.
I think it split it into two.
Okay. So give me the first time. If it split it in two.
It doesn't give me the time code. It just gives me the thing.
Laura, who is watching, FYI, over here laughing at Toronto to New York Porter, still typed into the search bar the whole show. Apparently, we need to try harder. I don't know what.
I don't know.
What is our time?
We were well over 3 hours. Not well over, but we're over 3 hours.
You know what's gonna suck?
What?
Editing it.
Yeah,
It's gonna take me 3 hours to edit, and I got to get it out by Tuesday. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you got no energy left.
No.
And I mean, I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
And TIFF Live, you're being a naughty flirt.
Yes.
You're being a naughty flirt.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, Nigel was wasted, but that was 2 hours ago.
Wasted.
Yeah, he was wasted 2 hours ago. So that's probably not Nigel there, and he's probably talking to you to try harder. So, try harder, Alex Woodside.
I'm trying so hard.
And got so far. But in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that we need to call this thing here.
Oh, yeah.
We can't be well over 3 hours on our podcast record.
Well, I didn't mean well over 3 hours, but we're over 3 hours.
I don't know. We got to be close to. I don't think we are. I think we're going to be somewhere. It's good. We're going to be in a shitty situation where we're not going to be quite at 3 hours because we were live for 3 hours and 8 minutes 43 seconds.
Yeah.
And we did a pre-roll for about, I would say, at least 5.
No, at least for 4 minutes. We were over 3. I guarantee it.
I don't know. I think we're going to end up with something stupid like fucking 2 hours 59 minutes and 58 seconds, or 2 hours and 58 minutes or something. And we're going to be like, God damn, and we'll have to find a way to try to pad out our number just to make it hit that 3 hours even.
I don't know.
Oh, what? You don't think people listen? Hardcore History does 3 hour, 5 hour podcasts.
That's true, but
okay, I am at least as entertaining a speaker as
you're. At least as good looking as Dan Carlin.
Okay. Can you help? Can you help what? TIFF Live. I enjoy anybody who types at me.
You do.
Yes. So if you type at me, this is something for everybody who's watching. If you watch me on Twitch, if you type shit at me, then I'm like right in. I'll be watching you. I'll be typing all the time. But apparently TIFF Live can I help? I don't understand how. Alex, how many beers are you in?
2.
There's 3 cans over there though.
One of them's full.
Oh, you didn't even. I don't think we streamed long enough then. If you didn't go into you brought 3 beers to get all the way through this thing. And
yeah. All right, let's close this thing.
Okay, we're gonna close this thing off.
Bye.
We're gonna end this section of Sissy That Talk on YouTube, and I'm probably going to transition over to doing live stream on Twitch. So I'm gonna play video games on Twitch. I'm probably gonna play some Friday the 13th because
Tiff Live, go see him on Twitch.
Yeah, Tiff Live, whoever the hell you are, twitch.tv/Velvet Valhalla. That's twitch.tv/Velvet Valhalla. Twitch.tv/.
Velvet Valhalla.
Yes, I'm going to wait to my dashboard here. I'm just going to...
I'm still waving.
Still waving. You keep waving.
Okay.
Copy. There we go. Boom. Say something.
We'll go watch you.
Boom. I'll be there as soon as twitch.tv/Velvet Valhalla. I'll be there whenever I'm done escorting this ginger giant out of the house. And I've also had a chance to powder my face because my face is feeling very oily.
Some jerk turned off the AC.
Yeah, some jerk turned off the AC. You son of a bitch. You turned off the AC and you had the audacity during the show to take your jean jacket off because you were too hot. I don't think you... I want to rewatch the show because I was giving you some goddamn fucking dirty-ass looks when I saw you take the jean jacket off. That bothered me for a good 45 minutes of the podcast. Where I went, you son of a bitch. I fucking told you. I fucking told you it was going to get too hot in here. And I got fucking silicone attached to my chest, and I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing a hat. And you're just like nonchalantly, I'm just going to take off my...
Oh, you could have unbuttoned the top there.
Oh, it's so hot in here. I'm just going to take off my stupid jean jacket.
It's quite warm in here.
Okay, fuck you, by the way. This is how we talk whenever the cameras are off. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Tiff Live, have a good night. Everybody out there in YouTube land, have a good night. I'm going to chop some of this stuff up in the YouTube editor when I get a chance. And that's what's going on. Alex Woodside?
Yo.
Say some last words to the live stream. And they can't be soft love. That's your call sign for podcasting.
Good night and good luck. Someone else's.
What the fuck is that?
It's someone else's line.
Rock it out hard.
I have no rocking out left. I'm a hot, tired man.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. And you took that fucking jean jacket off. I'm so salty about that.
I didn't even realize how salty you were about it.
No, you didn't, because I am a great actor and or actress, depending on if I got tits on my chest or not. Anyway, everybody out there in YouTube land, have a good night. Good night. Good luck. Farewell. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.